Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. I'm not important, I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem Ajman out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I got my brothers from another mother, but we got the same father. We here and hyena happy, elephant elated, and porcupine proud to be a part of your Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday. Boy, I can't sing, but if I could, I'll be somewhere getting me a Grammy. Lammy or Tammy or something. I'll be getting something this morning. But anyway, y'all know I can't sing, but let me do this right here.
Better
Don't
not bring home Tammy.
it better not bring home no Tammy. I bring home a Tammy, boy. I be in so much trouble. I don't know what to do. Look at I be sleeping on the front. I won't even be on the property. I had to sleep in the mailbox. Return the sender. Be stamped on my forehead. But anyway, let me say good morning to my brothers, and you all should also be a part. We got a lot of people that's coming in. TikTok, I see you this morning. Good morning to you all. Y'all are rolling in. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Please share the broadcast because you're listening to DKM Media Group, and Associates. Now, if you want to be a part of it, it's real simple, very simple. Just give us a call 508-924-3521. Let me say that again 508-924-3521. Now, for the people that did not have a pen. 508-924-3521. Let me go to Brother Mo. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm slicking in the baby's bottom on a wet mirror.
Good
So
Lord.
I'm a blues musician, so the little things we do, and as we discussed, south of heaven, north of hell, right there in the middle. I'm doing well.
Right there in the middle. Right there in the middle. And that's a good place to be. That's a good place to be. I believe I got this other brother on him, or I believe he in the same place you at. Toussaint. I usually call him the wise man, but he don't like when I call him that. So I'm not gonna do it this morning. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm glad I'm north and south myself.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Wouldn't take nothing for it.
Won't take nothing for it. It's a gift. It's a gift. Question, gentlemen. I'm gonna switch gears. Question this morning. Mormon started off with you.
Yes, sir.
These young people, and I be listening to them, man. They don't think I be listening. I be listening. I be paying attention. They got this saying that they say in this day and time. One of those sayings that they've been saying it for a minute, but they say, "I'm woke." I'm woke. Now you say in between, you say south of heaven, north of hell.
Yes.
They say that I'm woke. Man, they don't like me because I'm woke, man. I'm woke. What does that mean? What does that, when somebody say to you, I'm woke, Mo, what does that say to you?
It depends on how I know them or where they're from, because you can wake up from a dream, you can wake up from a nightmare, or you can wake up to the willing ignorance of your own sleep of what's going on around you. So when they say they're woke, they may realize that, well, you would hope they realize the system and the games that are played within the system, and they have awoken themselves to their place in life and where they're at. It doesn't just become a slogan, just as it become, hey, I know what's up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that phrase has devolved into different things. But when they say they're woke, they should be challenged. In what way are you woke? What were you sleeping on that you didn't sleep on before?
Wow, that's good. That's good. Toussaint, what do you say to that? These young people coming to you and y'all have a little conversation. They say, man, they don't like me, man, because I'm woke, man. They don't like me because I'm woke. Toussaint, what does that mean? What does it mean to you to hear that?
Well, I think that when we've been bamboozled from one place to another, whether it's who we are as a people, how we look at life, how we look to others, even in our beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like somebody has handed us and dictated to us what we should believe.
Mm-hmm.
And these young folks, they are awakening to not depend on anybody to give
Mm-hmm.
them nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, they are dedicated themselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, really, and I know quite a bit of them. And man, if you look, not all of them, but some of them, I can see them waking up
Mm-hmm.
to let me say it like this: to not raising their finger to get up in church to go use the bathroom.
Wow.
Did you get what I said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
You got that part?
And there's so much tied in what you just said. There's a lot tied into that, brother. Yeah, I'm
Sure.
with you. I'm with you. Yeah,
So
yeah.
they woke. Some
Mm-hmm.
of them. Some of them are knocked, slapped out.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
They're not only sleeping and dreaming from a dream and a nightmare. I mean, they have they walking dead
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and don't even know it.
Wow.
So it's a twofold thing. They
Wow.
woke all right. Why
Mm-hmm.
is it? And I'm gonna shut up. Why is it that if I give you, you tell me my order is $5.67, and I give you a $2, $10 and 2 pennies, you can't figure out how much my change is.
Mm-hmm. They're still sleeping somewhere in
You woke all right.
it. Wow. Wow. And Mo, what do you say about that, brother? Because a lot of times, they say that it sounds real good coming out of their mouth, but are they representing what they're saying? Are their words and their actions and their whole persona isn't lining up?
In many cases, not at all, because we don't know and they don't know from what perspective they're coming from. If they're coming from a perspective of ignorance and stay within their ignorance, disavowing knowledge that's given to them along the way, then they're not fully awake. You can say you're woke, but you can still, someone can shake you and you're coming out of a deep sleep. And as soon as you come out of that sleep, you say, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But that you're aware of your surroundings. In that
Mm-hmm.
way, a person, who may say, I'm woke, I'm, with these jobs and things of that nature, but what are they doing to get themselves out of the current situation into a better situation? We talked
Mm-hmm.
earlier this week, the beginning of the week, about chasing that bag. What does that
Yeah.
bag, chasing that bag mean? How are you, other than going to work every day, what are you doing to improve your skills? What's your next goal after you get your bag? Chasing a bag, every week you chase a bag and you get or every week to 2 weeks, you get a bag of money from your chasing, from your regular job. That's not enough. Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta move in other ways right now. If you haven't prepared yourself, and the thing about it is, at what point are you woke to stop mismanaging your life,
Mm-hmm.
to
Come on.
stop mismanaging your relationships, your finance, your mentality, your spirituality? So you can be
Mm-hmm.
woke on. I'm woke to the corner guy at the in my area who have a little mini digital casino
Yeah, yeah.
where people are in there gambling every day,
Mm-hmm.
not realizing what's going on and how they're being cheated by foreigners in many cases.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some out of Africa, some out of India, some out of the Mid East.
Mm-hmm.
Who's woke in that situation when you go in that day? So it depends on where you are in your life and what phase are you waking up in.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can be
Wow.
woken up fully conscious.
See, and that's good. That's good because to something what I'm hearing, you could be walking around dead. You could be walking around dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're walking around dead. Man, and when Mo was talking, I was thinking about work in a place where I think the people that sweep the ground and clean up the ground, I think that they make more than $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And so the craft
Excuse me.
gets paid more than they do.
Mm-hmm.
25, $30 an hour. And these young kids come to work, and time they get their first instruction with their woke self, they done. Man,
Yeah.
I am. Man, I am. Man, I'm not finna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Great man, that man trying to tell. Man, what happened? Man, I quit.
Man, Toussaint, my son messed up a job interview because he said he wasn't going to clean the bathroom at Wendy's.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm.
He woke. I mean, I'm not talking about your
Mhm.
son. I'm talking about the attitudes of these young folks. Man, look, they're not finna tolerate nothing.
Yeah.
That man disrespected me,
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
cleaning up. What I'm finna do that for? It's called earning a living, sir.
Mhm.
They ain't having
Man,
to clean no
I put
bathroom.
my my son love him to death, and he was playing for the church and playing the organ. And he got pretty good at it, but that's all he wanted. He looked like it. I thought that's all he wanted to do in my mind. And he used to have cousins and friends come to the house, and I'm like, "What y'all doing?" He's, "Oh, we just chilling." I said, "No, you can't. He can't chill with you, and you can't chill here."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it happened for a little while after we graduated high school, and I took all his clothes out the closet and the drawer. I like to tell that story. I sure do.
Uh-huh.
Um, I said, "Son, you need a job." He said, "Oh, Daddy, I ain't flipping no hamburgers." I said, "I'm not asking you to flip no hamburgers. You just need some ethics, work ethics about yourself."
Mm-hmm.
There you
And
go.
so he went out, used my truck, my gas to go get a job. And week after week, he come back with nothing. And so that's what I did to him. And and I know it's a long story. I'm gonna try to speed it up. He said to me, "Well, I want to go and help my grandmother." I said, "Son, you can go, but you got to have a job or some kind of income to
Yeah.
help her.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if that's what you want to do, I'll bring you there." Bought him a car after he graduated. And I said I wasn't going to pay no insurance. And he said, "Well, I'll just drive over." No, you ain't got no insurance on it.
Yeah.
So I'll drive you there. I drove him there, shook his hand, and said, "Son, I hope you make it." And gave him one dime.
Wow. Wow.
2 weeks later, the recruiter calls me, and he knew he had to do something. So he joined the Navy. Been in there.
Hey, there you go.
That's
Mm-hmm.
15 years ago.
Wow. Wow. About to retire. About to give it up. About to give it
There
up.
you go.
I'll wake him
Yeah.
up. If you want to be woke, I'll wake you up. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna help you sleep
Yeah.
thinking
Mhm.
you.
Exactly. Exactly. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning,
Good
Toya.
morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? Hello, hello.
So you tell you.
Toya, we talking this morning about young folks, the younger generation, and you deal with them every day. So I know you know firsthand on what we're talking about. But when they come to you and y'all having a conversation, and they say, "Miss Toya, no, they don't like me because I'm woke. I'm woke, Miss Toya. I'm woke." What does that mean when they say that to you? And do they know what it means?
Some of them don't, but that's even with the adults. I can't just blame the kids because the kids came from somewhere.
Yeah.
And there are adults. It's just not kids to just work for me. I got some 50-year-old people who handwriting is still worse, and then they got a daughter that worked there. And then I can't get mad at the daughter when I look at the daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't
Mm-hmm.
get mad at the daughter when I done sold the mammy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So no, I'm not holding them accountable. I want to spank the parents behind.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I want to spank.
So so the belt is misdirected.
Yeah, that's what I want to spank. I can't get
Yeah.
mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
They only learn what their parents teach them. And I have to say this about this comment. I heard a comment a few minutes ago because I'm a fast food worker, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I flip burgers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm the manager of the flipping burger joint, but it don't
Mhm.
make no difference. I
Mhm.
flip burgers.
Yeah.
And people look just as cocky eyed and crazy at me too. Ooh, that what you do flip burgers? Well, you'd be surprised how much money you get.
Exactly.
Uh Running one of these
Exactly.
guys. But it's funny how I saw you in the drive thru. But I'm
Hmm.
gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
You came through the drive-through. That wasn't your wife in the passenger seat that was had a leg over you.
I ain't want to tell that part though. You ain't supposed to tell that part. You get folks in
Okay.
trouble.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Look, Toya. Oh, oh,
Thing
excuse me.
is,
Excuse me.
where do we learn to work at? School's supposed to teach that. I'm talking about the kids
No.
right now. When you and your girls to me at 16 and 17, who taught them work ethic? Who taught them how to follow direction? Because I know good and well you ain't let them run around and tell you what to do for 16 years, and you think that you
Mhm.
finna send them over here with me, and you think that I'm gonna be supposed to be able to tell them something.
That gravy train
Where
stops
we
right there at
where
your door.
I mean, I just need to know. You say
Hmm.
that they need
Yeah.
to work, but I learned work ethic from my dad. Y'all. He told me, I
Hmm.
don't care if you pick up, or you just pick up, boop up, there it is. Put your hands on this, and y'all
Hmm.
run this, and you better do it with
Hey,
everybody gonna be looking at you.
hey,
When
hey, 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 Toya. Hey, Toya. Hey, Toya. I'm looking at. Toya. I'm look. Toya. Toya. Hey, Toya. Hey, Toya. I'm looking at your feed, Toya, and they say your feed is real is very weak. Your feed is in the yellow, and your verbiage is very distorted. So I think we have a bad connection. Can you go out and come right back in? I think
Can
we
I
got a
can I respond to what Toya is saying in a bit?
absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have two 19-year-old twin boys,
Hmm.
one ADHD, one on the autism spectrum, high functioning. I'm a single dad raising them up. When the mama was alive, she and I, we started with, they know what to do because we taught them that at
Yeah.
home.
Hmm.
But when kids get to a certain age, and we taught them a work ethic, kids go at certain age when they're claiming they're quote unquote woke, but not listening
Hmm.
and not aware.
Hmm.
And my son, for example, he, as I said to you, went to a Wendy's, applied for a job, told him at the job that he didn't want to clean bathrooms because people over here are nasty.
Mm.
And he didn't want
Wow.
to work on a Sunday at Piccadilly's because
Hmm.
that's his day he goes to church. I
Hmm.
go to church. That boy ain't go to church since his mama died.
Wow.
Okay. So he was using that particular excuse. So we can't necessarily blame the parents on that when the kids have to make their own decision.
Hmm.
And, when I was coming up, we had a civics course that we had to take in high school. We did career day where we sat in with judges in our city in East Orange, New Jersey, to learn what work is like and what you have to do. The problem with kids today is they're privileged because,
Mm.
parents in our day were like, we're going to work so very hard so you don't have to go through what we didn't have.
Hmm.
And they took that instead of realizing the sacrifices of their parents, they figure that it's their privilege. Remember when Hateville started to first come up, and all the black folk were moving out there to the little mini mansions
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah.
else? It was the wild, wild west about 10, 15 years ago.
Hmm.
All these young kids of privilege going out there being suburban gangsters,
Hmm.
ruining
Wow.
things for people.
Hmm.
That had nothing to do with the parents, other than maybe the parents giving them too much or not setting boundaries for them. I've
Hmm.
always set boundaries for my son. That's one of the reasons that he's not in the house right now and won't be back right now
Hmm.
because he went over too many boundaries. And
Okay.
now he's paying the sacrifice.
Wow. Wow. And see, and I think what Toya was talking about, and she's back. Oh, she was back with us. Hopefully she'll come back in a second. But I'm thinking that that's what she's talking about right there as well, is not necessarily ones that's doing the right thing, that's pouring it into it, but she's actually talking about the other side of the coin. And I always speak on the other side of the coin because there are some parents that are not equipping their children. They're not equipping their children at all. And in that realm of it, these children are falling in the gaps. They're falling in the gaps. They're falling for they're going for the okie doke. They're going for the okie doke, and because of that, they go to a place like with Toya. They go to a place like Toya, and they don't have it. They don't have it, and because of the fact that they don't have it, now she's have a choice: either pick up the pieces, put it back, put the puzzle together, or dismiss them. What do you do? Tucson, what do you do in that situation? Because you only have one or two options. You either can put the puzzle back together, put the puzzle together, or dismiss that individual. And what are you going to do if you dismiss them?
Well, I heard a lot, um, and I said what I said to just make my point. I don't discredit anything anybody does. That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just saying what uh, my son didn't want to go in that field. That's fine, but you still got to work somewhere.
Yeah.
That
Mm-hmm.
was the point that I was trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
So it
You, you
wasn't
you wasn't putting it down.
downgrading
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
downplaying
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let me make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, because what I would do, I ain't got nothing to do with nobody else's parenting. This is my children, and I'm like you. Well, when they mama passed, then I'm the parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love their family and what they do. You know, I'm sorry for for this here at the rubber when the rubber meets the road. These are my children and my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
what am I gonna do? I would take them out in the yard, mow the yard,
Mm-hmm.
rake the grass, go change the oil in the car,
Yeah.
change the flat, do this, do that, do that. Work ethics.
Mm-hmm.
My father, he would take us to fields, and I was thinking when I was coming up, why in the heck is Daddy bringing us to these bean and potato fields, and we digging potatoes and all of this kind of crap, and then at the end of the day, the week they give us $10, and we had to give up our $10 so that we can help in the household.
Mm-hmm.
Why were we doing that?
Yeah.
So what my father did for us, I was doing for mine because that's
Mm-hmm.
mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And for him, especially him, the oldest son, for him to hang out, I wasn't gonna have it.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I don't care what nobody said. You shouldn't do that, boy, like that. That ain't got nothing to do with what you think. That's my child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for me watching young men hanging out, and then because of the fact that they hanging with the wrong crowd, they wind up incarcerated. I wasn't gonna have that either.
Mm. Mm.
So I look back 15, almost 20 years later, and he ain't doing the work. He getting somebody to work.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, he's got his own, and he's doing his own thing, and he got 6 children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's 35.
Wow.
And when he get out of the Navy, he's not gonna be working for nobody. He don't plan to,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm investing in his business.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a boast or a brag, but if he's gonna need to be woke, I'm gonna help him wake up.
There you go. There you
And
go.
I got some tough love for you.
Mm-hmm.
Talk that noise if you want to, but I need some results,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to be better than me for sure.
Show me
Because I
something.
show up for work every day.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
never sit at home.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be half dead to sit at home
Mm-hmm.
waiting for somebody to do something for me. The devil is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get to the job, I don't look for nobody to give me the instructions. You give it to somebody else and I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I've learned work as ethics, not a boast or a brag. But if I'm saying I'm woke, then ask my supervisor or my manager,
Mm-hmm.
what type of worker am I?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
he have to look for me? And if he does, I'm hiding in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
and he better not talk to me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who he is. And I mean that. But I give him the respect because I need that respect too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a whole big picture in being what we say woke. I listen to the conversations. I know I'm out of time right here. I'm out of
Mm-hmm.
time. I'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at the way people talk,
Mm-hmm.
and you're saying a lot, and you're talking too much, but I'm not even understanding what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah. Don't
And
get it.
you woke?
Mm-hmm. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. You're listening to DKM Media Group and Associates. This is the Morning Glow. This is the Morning Glow. Mo, talk to me, brother. Okay, Mo, some can't hear you.
One of the things I wanted to say when it talks about awakening, one of the, as part of my life and everything else, and I'm a writer, I do martial arts, and my writing coach actually this week was about being awake. There are two questions that you have to ask. Who am I? And what is true? And if you ask those questions, you deepen your understanding of anything that you do. Then any life activity becomes a path of awakening, of knowledge, of wisdom. Know one thing, know 10,000 things. Japanese swordsman Miyamoto Musashi had said. So it's about, if they say they woke, ask who they are. What
Mm-hmm.
is true? That's when you define how, if a person says they woke, who are you and what is true?
Mm-hmm.
And all your life activity of awakening, because being woke, you're still waking up. You're
Mm-hmm.
not fully woke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't claim that.
What that's powerful, brother. That's powerful. What is that transition like? What is that? Because if a person say they are woke, but yet and still they're not fully woke, and they're going, what is that transition like of thinking that you woke and actually being woke?
Making difficult decisions that lead to positive results.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're awake. Where the mistake is not on anybody else, it's on you because you made that decision. As difficult as it was, you made it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you're woke. I had to go to a point where I had to be woke with my son and make difficult decisions to get him going. Because I
Mm-hmm.
closed my eyes to his behavior. I prayed, I tried to give mentoring, and he didn't want to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I became woke to that fact that I can't change him.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Brother, if we could talk this morning, if we could have a conversation this morning, I'm gonna ask you a question. And if I'm overstepping my boundaries, please let me know and I'll back up.
Say again now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get
I
my other son out the door.
I see that up. I'm gonna ask you a question this morning, and if I'm overstepping my boundaries, please let me know and I will back up off of it.
Okay.
But you said that it the situation with your son and how you had to back up off of it and how you had to do that, knowing that that is your seed, brother. How did that make you feel?
It
And
was
you ain't got to get
hard.
all this your personal business, nothing like that. I'm just
No,
talking about
no,
how did
I'm,
that
I'm
feel.
willing to share. If you can can we go to Toussaint and let me come back and let me get this boy out of here because he's on the iPad, the other side, and won't get off the iPad.
Well, let me go to Toy. Toy T is back with us. Toy T, I'll finish your thoughts, sis. We had some, and your signal look much better right now. So, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me. They say they woke. Are they really woke, or are they sleepwalking?
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm getting that again. I'm gonna put it on the parents. If their kid think they woke, the parent think they woke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning that we are a reflection of our parents, whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or
Mm-hmm.
not, I know what my parents taught me, but I'm still a reflection of them, and it is their responsibility to teach me everything, even though I do have my own responsibility. So if they think they woke, like I said at work, the daddy think he woke, the
Yeah.
baby think
Yeah.
he woke too. But y'all
Mm-hmm.
are far from. Honey, have you seen your handwriting yet? You ain't eat is what?
Mm-hmm.
What? But that is I wanna say like, to be woke is like a way of life. Who wants to admit that they're a zombie? Who wants to admit that they're asleep? Who
Mm,
wants to admit the downfall? None of us do. The people who aren't doing well don't want to admit that they're doing well. I mean that they're not doing well. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem of denial. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So
mhm.
again, I was just talking to my homegirl about this. We were just talking about this last night.
Wow.
Even though your child may be of an age where they should know better, you as a parent are still responsible for the
Mhm.
behavior and actions of your children, and you are the main source of their actions nine
Yes,
times
come
out
on.
of ten. So if they get to school, if they get to work, if they get to a place and they don't know how to act, you have had a very large percentage on how they behave. And it's a
Mhm,
time to stop and self-reflect on the parenting, because the bad parents think they did the basics too, but it does not
mhm,
mean that they were, you know what I'm saying, a good parent. I was raised by a single male, but he made a
mhm,
lot of sacrifices that I know he was real. I didn't have no time for that. He sacrificed the women, he sacrificed the time, he sacrificed a job to be there when I got out of school and help me. You understand what I'm saying? That's a
mhm,
whole different vibe when you out here doing other things that is not directly taking care of those children, like they're not supposed to notice it, and you're just barking the same rules. You know what I'm saying?
mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
for real, when I look at children, especially now, because I'm starting to see this pattern now that I'm back in management, right? After COVID, a lot of families are working together now. Okay.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
when you look at the caliber of the family members, I'm sorry, I cannot get mad at the 16 to 17-year olds, because it's just basically a trickle down effect. And until somebody stops and notices that there's a root cause to the problem and try to fix it, they're all gonna be walking around thinking they woke, but zombies think they're alive too. I'm just saying.
mhm. So basically, they have become victims of their environment or of their surroundings.
Well, I really can't say it's a victim, right? Because even with
Mhm,
me being from Brooklyn, being in the projects, coming from a single parent home, it's still a choice. You
mhm.
understand what I'm saying? And I remember even younger
Ah,
struggling.
ah.
I'm for real. I mean,
No, no, no,
struggling.
no, no.
Listen,
Let me
from
say
the
this.
projects, Raheem.
Okay, but I understand what you're saying. No, no, I'm not saying that you're wrong. Please hear me when I say I'm not saying that you're wrong. But my point on this is, and I'm certainly not gonna say you're wrong, because I know that that does happen. So I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But I know that sometimes a person need a certain foundation laid out for them, because a lot of times a person gonna walk the path that's in front of them. And so if like you said, if them parents are not taking responsibility for those children to pour the positive things into those children, they're going to consume, because nobody want to be hungry. So they're going to consume the negative things that's there, that's easily accessible to them, and they're going to miss it. And so, the parents have great responsibility. Yes, the parents have to do their part, absolutely. But at the same time, man, see, I'm talking on two different sides of it, because it's real complicated.
Hmm.
The children got to take responsibility too, though, to learn what's being put out there for them, if it's being put out there for them. But go ahead, sis.
No, you're right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like as coming from a low, let's say a worse off situation. Nobody wants to come from the projects, right?
Yes,
We
absolutely, absolutely.
so-called have chances are slimmer there because the majority, right? But
Mm-hmm.
there was still a choice for me to choose to say, hey, stay in school until I did drop
Yes.
out in a more suburban area, right? I moved to a
Mm-hmm.
suburban area. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Middle class now. And
Mm-hmm.
decided to make different choices and decisions due to my surroundings. So at the end of the day, a lot of it still has to do with influence. It was the influence that my father had over me to make me want to continue to go to school. And I think that's where we missed the mark as parents. We got to
Mm-hmm.
really be real, right? Because when you're dealing with your children, they're watching you.
Yep.
And you can try to be right and do right and say right all you want to, but we know the real. And I think that's when it causes friction, right? When I started to notice my dad was an alcoholic, that's when things started to kind of go left. Why should I listen to you?
Wow.
You understand what
Wow.
I'm saying?
Wow. That's good.
Because
That's
you've been
real.
telling me
Real.
all this good stuff, but you
Hmm.
got a whole addiction that you can't
Hmm.
even break. You know that it can kill you. And
Yeah.
then as I look back, when I started to get older, that's when I started to kind of buck the system because I could see you do wrong too. And I
Hmm.
took a whole different arrow and alley because I felt like it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. You
Wow.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a slippery situation. But again, later on down the line, I knew that I had special abilities. And when I decided to go back to college at 40 something, it was still a choice, just like
Praise
it
God.
was at
Praise
18.
God.
And I'm
Praise
not
God.
going to let things
Come
stop
on.
me. And the only way that I can erase the curse is to rewrite the curse. I can't
Hmm.
keep not doing anything, thinking that I'm going to change anything, thinking I'm going to show my nieces and nephews and the one behind me anything. And I ain't made no forward movement. So it was a
Hmm.
constant a consistent choice to be consistent with being great. It would be consistent with being excellent. And that meant going back to school. That meant tightening up my skills. That meant tightening up my skin. That meant put myself in situations that I may be scared of, but I'm going to do it and conquer it anyway. And I'm 2 years away from a PhD. So in order
Praise
to
God.
curse, you understand what I'm saying? I see it. I recognize it. I notice it. I've been from there. But each individual that go for the daddies and that go for the kids.
Hmm. Wow.
So you
Wow.
make a conscious decision to stop it in your tracks, not nobody
Hmm.
else's.
Hmm.
You stop it in your tracks in order to really be woke. You can walk around here and open up your mouth and let these words fly out. Rico say that all the time. You can open up your mouth and words fly out all the time. But we're
Hmm.
watching and we know who's
Yeah.
really woke. We know who's really zombies.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you something. To your point. My kids are grown. My kids are grown now. I have four beautiful daughters I love dearly. I have grandkids. I have and I have grandsons. And I have to be real mindful of because they watch me. They watch me, man. They watch me, and I didn't realize how much they watched and paid attention until I was doing something one day, and I happened to turn around and I looked, and my grandson he was right behind me, just staring at me. I said, "Wow." I told my wife, I said, "How long he been back there?" She laughed. "Oh, he been back there for a minute." I said, "He just watching." Yeah, yeah, and my wife's smarter than me. She explained to he watch you all the time. A lot of times stuff that the stuff that I do when I say certain things he repeat it, so I got to be mindful of what I say. I can't walk around the house cursing and just all kind of ways. I can't because he's watching. My grandson is watching, and so there's a great responsibility that goes into that. I got to be careful how I display myself because the way he look at it, he called me Peepaw. Peepaw is always right. Peepaw is always right. And so if I do it, he feels it's the right thing to do because Peepaw is always right. There's a responsibility that goes into that, man. There's a huge responsibility that goes into that. Not everybody want to step up to it, but it's true. It's true. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we're talking about the young folks, and you two deal with them all the time. The young folks walking around here talking about and Kurt, come to you next, brother. The young folks walking around here talking about I'm woke. I'm woke. Now they don't like me because I'm woke. I'm woke, man. They can't deal with me because I'm woke. I'm woke. Cassandra, what does that mean to you when you hear that? And do they know what it means to be woke?
Uh, there, I'm woke means I'm halfway sleeping and halfway sleepwalking.
There you go.
I'm just
Wow.
being honest. I mean,
Wow.
no, I mean, I don't. Listen. One thing I know, and we can take this a couple of ways. Some things experience teaches you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why the Bible says to pay attention to the older people because they're wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Older doesn't always have to mean a number, but it's talking about your level of maturity,
Yeah.
how your level of accountability and responsibility. Most of the kids I hear say, "Oh, I'm woke." they have no accountability and hardly any responsibility. So
Mhm.
how in the world
Mhm.
are you so woke?
Yeah. Yeah.
You sleepwalking.
Mhm.
You think you know everything. And that is what amazes me with a lot of the young people today. You can't tell them, they just know it all.
Mhm.
They ain't been here but 2.5 seconds in the scheme of things, in the scheme of life, just in
Wow.
the scheme of life.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
know everything
Mhm.
already. Oh,
Mhm.
I know that. You trying to give them a little bit of wisdom? Oh, yeah, yeah, I knew that.
Mhm.
I know that. I know that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been know about that. Next, oh, okay. I almost said the N word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, sit yourself down and learn something.
Mhm.
Learn something about life.
Mhm.
Then you come and you can tell somebody you woke. Do something with what you think you know.
Yeah.
Then you come and tell me you woke. You
Mhm.
telling me you woke and you don't vote. That tells me you're not woke.
Mhm.
Hello, somebody.
Wow. Wow.
I'm
Hey,
just saying.
what a James Brown said, don't leave your homework undone.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Hello.
You're listening to, I want to let everybody know you're listening to DKM Media Group and Associates, and this is the Morning Glow. This is the Morning Glow. You could be a part of the conversation as well. We would definitely love to have your input. We're talking right now about the young folks that say, I'm woke. They can't tell me they don't like me, man, because I'm woke. I ain't sleep like them. I'm woke. Call in 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521 is the number. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Morning, fellas. Morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, brother. What does it mean to you, man, when you're talking to a young person and you talk to them too? That's what you do, and they say, man, they don't like me, man, because I'm woke, man. They don't like me because I'm woke. I ain't sleep like them, man. I'm woke. I'm woke. I get it. I'm woke. Curtis, what does that mean when you hear that? And do they know what it means? Do they actually know what it means to be woke? Come on.
They woke. They woke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said they woke. They
Mm.
woke the conspiracy theory.
Mm.
And
Yes.
there's been nobody seriously said. I just had this conversation last week in my car, man, on the way to an event with a young boy. They give me these conspiracy theories. I say, what is that grounded in? Because
Mm-hmm.
any good conspiracy theory should be grounded in something or some form of fact, that there should be points of facts that you go to in every conspiracy theorist that'll take you to a place where, okay, I might be able to understand that. But it's a theory.
Mm-hmm.
They just woke to the wrong stuff, bro. I mean, I
Mm.
hate to put it like that because that sounds like very, very elementary. But no, they woke. They just woke. They woke to the narrative. They're not woke to the story.
Mm-hmm.
They woke to the first page that's in the book. I think they call that the forward
Yes.
or the introduction.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
But they won't read past it, the forward or the introduction. So how woke are you? You know, any young soldier or soldier that say that to me, my first response is, what is that grounded in?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, talk to me now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get shy now. I want to talk about the theory if you don't have a basis for the theory.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
What is the evidence in that theory? Explain it now. You believe in it? You woke on it?
Mm-hmm.
This is your option to teach me. Because see, now you're talking about something I don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
So teach me. Most of the time, they get nervous. They stop talking. So then, you just hit that window where you gotta, as an adult, as the adult in the room, as the more mature person in the room, okay, brother, look, let me explain something to you. Bop, 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 bop,
Mm-hmm.
bop. Now, do you really think in good common sense? Just using good common sense. We're not going to talk about law. We're not going to talk about moral fortitude. We're not going to talk about morality of humanity. None of that. Just
Mm-hmm.
with good common sense.
Mm-hmm.
You as a human being, do you really believe bop, 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 bop?
Mm-hmm.
And every time I go there around here, you know what I see?
What's that? Talk to me.
I see a light bulb come on.
Mm.
I see the light bulb come on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, Mr. Kurt, I never thought about it like that.
Mm.
I've been going through this whole thing with this whole marijuana debacle. It was a debacle.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing the government was thinking about was making some money. They weren't thinking about the fracturing of a whole entire workforce of people. They weren't thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
They was just thinking about the dollars. Okay, we finally figured out how we're going to tax marijuana. You know, man, when you have to deal with them, you got to have some patience. You got to have patience, temperance, and tolerance, bro. Because some of the things that we hear, Cassandra and Toya, some of the things we hear on a daily basis, you can't make this stuff up, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Good deal.
Yep.
Good deal. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
Why you panic so? If you woke, why you panic so easily?
Mm-hmm.
Why you break apart?
Mm-hmm.
Why you fall apart at the simplest things?
Yeah. Mm.
What are you doing? And here's the thing: you woke, but you're 35 and you're still home with mama.
Mm. Mm. I'm woke, see,
You can't put gas
cause
in
I
your
know
car.
I'm woke, see, cause I know if I go out there, see, I might be out there, but if I stay in here, you see, I'm in here, and so I'd rather be in here than out there, and so that's why I'm still at home with mama. See,
Yeah, can I really got to say this. I told my son.
hold on,
Now,
hold on, let him
you
finish
couldn't
his
be in
thought.
my house.
Go ahead, Tucson, finish your thought, brother.
You couldn't be in my house. You couldn't be in my house.
Mhm.
Woke like you are, playing video games all day long
Mhm.
and
Yep.
can't spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't know how you mean to tell me you come through all high school and you mean to tell me you can't have a decent conversation with nobody without flying off the handle?
Wow.
And you woke?
Oh, that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
What did you just say?
Yeah.
You wide open woke. Your eyes is wide shut to me, but you telling me you woke. Okay, come on. Walk with me for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go over here. Now, here's this problem. Solve it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Oh man, you know, well, man, well, I give up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You just think you know everything. No, you can spell. That's good, but you can't figure nothing out. You didn't, man. You mean tell me you didn't had 5 jobs and you 21, and every job is the persons that you work for is the problem,
Mm-hmm.
and not you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I just woke up, man. I just woke up for that foolishness, man. I ain't working for nobody. Oh, but you smell like weed.
Yeah. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Wow.
Oh, okay. All right. So when you get to where you're going in your own business, why they kick your door down?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got your own business. Oh, you Lord have mercy. You mean to tell me you applied for what? Yeah, I got my PPE loan, and I cut hair on the side. Where your barbershop? Where your license at, sir?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna come get you.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
I done woke up. Oh, you woke up, but they still got something to call IRS.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna have to answer. Man, tell me, I had a young man, he was woke, and he had 2-3 cars. He had a house in the city and building a house on an acre of land in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells me, oh, every time I turn around, you always talk about bills and this and that. And he pull out a wad of money. He said, I ain't working for nobody. I said, look, here's the thing. I says, you building a house in the country, you living here, you got two, three cars in the yard, but you don't work, you don't go nowhere all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it seemed like somebody would say, how did you get that?
Yeah. Yeah. Or somebody watching. Somebody watching. Trust and believe somebody
So
watching.
so you everywhere you go, you looking over your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just pistol whip them. Oh, okay. 2 weeks later, you call me with my working self, with my ignorant self working for them folks, and you want me to bail you out all of a sudden. And now you, Mr. Pistol Whipper, you
Mm-hmm.
crying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I see. Yeah, yeah. You woke all right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. I'm looking at my chat window over here on the side, and it's amazing how people will say, make yeah, it's crazy. And I'll tell you the history of that later on, Mo. I'll tell you the history of that. But it's amazing. They say what they say, but they're still watching. Ain't that beautiful? Ain't that a beautiful
It
thing?
is.
Ain't
It
that's
is.
but go ahead, Mo. You was about to say something.
Oh yeah, the battle of marijuana. Marijuana's been a long time, and my son, I said most of my boys are 19, but my son, I got to give him money, getting him around and everything else, and he's smoking. He was just smoking pot and everything else, and I was like, son, this is not cool. And he's like, well, I'm an adult now. I said, just like I wouldn't want you to drink alcohol at 19, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want you to smoke marijuana at 19. Marijuana is for people who have jobs and work
Mm-hmm.
and come back home if they want to do that. So that was one particular aspect of my talk to him. And even those who may say that, and I can't remember who the quote and who actually said it, is that where a child or a young adult or even an adult say, well, this wound is not my fault. Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
may not be your fault, but the healing is your responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one can heal you from that.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that parents have to deal with, as Toya had talked about, is hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, that's the first damage to a child. And even Jesus didn't like hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you Sadducees and hypocrites. He dropped the hypocrites at a moment
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
talking about that. And you asked me about my son. I'm glad to explain that. That was a difficult decision that led to a path of peace for us right now. I don't know if you want me to still talk about it or you want to move on.
Yeah, I don't want you to get too personal with it, but yeah,
Right.
that's good. That's good. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Told you what a T coming to you next.
Yeah, and listen, this is not an indictment against our young people because I love them and I know that I may be out of here anytime now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And you want to try to impart something you learn to them, but they know it all. How do you impart something to people who feel like they know it all? At
Yeah.
all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
They know it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. And it hurts me
Mm-hmm.
because you see them standing at the edge of a cliff, and you say, "Baby, believe me, if you go down that road, if you go a little farther, you will go off the cliff."
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you from experience, you will go off of a cliff
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
keep going in that direction. They don't want to hear that.
No. No.
They don't want to hear
No.
that. Oh, Grandma,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know. But you know what? One thing I'm going to give my grandboys, because I have three grandboys, all adults. Well, one full grandboy. One of them is still a teenager. But they will call me and talk to me about things that they won't talk to their parents about.
Yeah.
I got to give
Yeah.
them that. But let me tell you what I found biblically sound is true today. The Word of God says that they would be wiser but weaker.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Mm.
They smart. They can pull in that that knowledge, like they keep trying to throw it at us, but they weaker, y'all. Their minds are weaker. I have never, and Kurt, you can, and the Navy, Toya, we talk to young people all the time. Mental illness is rampant
Yes,
in our young people. I'm
absolutely.
talking, I ain't never in my life seen so many young people. I'm talking 13 and up,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
bipolar, schizophrenic, all kind of behavioral disorders. I have never, and I've been counseling for what, going on 40 years.
Yeah.
I never seen nothing like it, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Okay, if I'm telling y'all, I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's crazy.
Wiser but weaker.
Wiser but weaker. Much, much weaker. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T. Talk to me, sis. What's on your heart? And Toya, it was Toya. Are you there? Oh, I see your signal. They got weak on me. Okay, I think you might be traveling. But Toya, it was said in the chat. It was said, oh, we lost. God almighty. Curtis, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, bro.
It was said in the chat. Somebody was listening to us on Twitch TV, and they said that we're bashing the old the old folks are bashing the young folks. Is that what you hear?
No. And see that that's that conspiracy foolishness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra just said something about they are wiser but weaker.
Yes.
And see, the one thing about young folk is young folks, and I was young, and I couldn't do it when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to bash you for not being able to do it now.
Yeah.
Young folks can't take inconvenient truths.
Mm-hmm.
They love truth.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a generation love more truth than this generation right here.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't take inconvenient truth. And all truth is not convenient. Some truth is inconvenient.
Yes, sir.
Right? Cassandra is right. Cassandra is absolutely right. And I'll tell you why she's right.
Mm-hmm.
See, what has happened is, in this age of technology, the power structure has tried to turn the human being into a robot by adding in a bunch of theory on top of theory, 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 theory on top of theory.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the human being receives a theory, its natural state is to try the theory.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But soon as they go or move to try, the power structure adds another theory.
Come on.
Adds another theory. So what happens is the human being winds up walking around with a whole bunch of theory, but with no applied theory.
Mm-hmm.
Which removes, guess what, Raheem? Guess what that will remove?
What's that?
Your ability to have common sense.
Wow. So watch this.
I mean, one time I heard this.
So are we saying that the young folks don't have any common? Are we saying that the young folks don't have any common sense?
No, listen. I'm gonna tell you something that I had somebody say to me, a very person that I admire. Kurt, hey, let me just inform you. Common sense. Common sense ain't common, and the damn sight ain't free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I never understood what she meant until I got to college.
Mm-hmm.
And my professor, who was 40 years her minor, said the very same thing to our choir class.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow.
You got like, I just wish that both us as the mature folk And them as the younger folk, I wish we would stop looking at fault in each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because the truth be told, the only way we're going to gain a greater understanding of our human condition and our human purpose is to understand our collective human cause.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to do that. We're using um, they just always trying to bop, or them young folk, they just don't want to listen. We use that to not have to deal with the fact that from a humanistic point of view,
Mm-hmm.
we're not listening to each other, brother.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
And that's what it is.
Good deal. I'm going to pull out my timer now. We're gonna keep everything we got quite a few people here, so we're gonna keep it within the 3-minute window. So I'm pulling out my timer right now. And so whatever you say what you make your point, say what you're gonna say, but let's keep it within that window of 3 minutes. Toya with a T, talk to me, sis.
Yeah, I didn't hear all of Kurt's, but I heard most of Cassandra's, and she's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's rampant. Mental illness is rampant. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that we really think about the different influences that has to do with this mental illness, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think the root cause, first and foremost, only because I noticed the possession, is that some of us are possessed. You know what I'm saying? We got to get
Wow.
back grounded in God. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why we're even getting caught up in all of this, because we're not grounded in Him like we need to be. That's first and
Mm-hmm.
foremost. Then, for two, when you start adding the influences of single parent homes and their issues, because again, I'm starting to notice more of a pattern now where adults are working back in the fast food restaurants, not just part time, right? It's their
Mm-hmm.
full time jobs. But I'm also noticing that these are the fathers that were in jail wrongfully, started selling drugs in the 70s, right? So
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
their learning disabilities already, and then they're having their issues that they never got addressed with their kids, and their kids and them are coming to us. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So there's
Mm-hmm.
a breakdown that is all the way across the board that helps to influence this mental illness,
Mm-hmm.
right? You already can't comprehend well, you already can't write well, you already can't keep up, and now society is requiring triple
Mm.
what we used to be able to do to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's smothering and it's drowning and it's too much. And this is why I see why people are breaking. We're putting ourselves in situations, having these kids, knowing we ain't got money, men and women, knowing that we have not properly educated ourselves, knowing that we've come from broken dysfunction. And no one is trying to fix it. You know what I'm saying? One thing I will respect about the young kids, though, is that some of them are not following in the steps of their parents.
Yeah.
Some of them are trying to get married and have kids and stay together. Some
Mm-hmm.
of them are trying to become millionaires and billionaires. Some of them are trying to get
Mm.
outside of the box that I think that we have not been trying to get out of, right? They want to
Mm-hmm.
know, when you tell them something, they want to know why. Because we haven't told them the root. We haven't laid the
Mm-hmm.
foundation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at them for just not following directions. Tell me why. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I still think that the reflection of our youth is still a reflection of ourselves. And we still got to tighten up as the adults before we
Yeah.
leave them in control.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good deal. Good deal. We're gonna keep this thing going. We're going to change the topic in just a second or two. But let me go to Mo. Mo, what's on your heart, brother? 3 minutes.
The conversations that we're having are really good. I disagree with the notes. These are real conversations. And what I think young people forget is that they stand on the shoulders of giants.
Mm-hmm.
Toussaint, Raheem, yourself, Toya, Cassandra, all of you are giants. And kids right now don't seem to realize that
Mm-hmm.
they're in a better position
Mm-hmm.
than, where you say, for me, it was when I was coming up, my parents did a lot, and I was fortunate, and they worked for what they have.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never arrogant enough to believe that what they have was going to be mine, or the position that they positioned me in. Parents need to position their kids to be the most powerful. Was it Khalil Gibran in his book, The Prophet? He said, children are like arrows that are shot out along the path of life. God
Mm-hmm.
bless these arrows, but God bless the hand of the steady archer, the
Mm-hmm.
parent.
Yeah.
We have to be steady archers,
Mm-hmm.
with this. And, saying that, and it's interesting because, like on NPR this morning, they were talking about the housing crisis. But the
Mm-hmm.
fact of the matter is that we continue to build houses that the future can't afford.
Yes.
We can't afford to bend to have a big house on a 2-acre lot and everything else. And then we get old and the children are expected, well, I'm going to grow up and have a house with a 2-acre lot. Guess what? You ain't getting it unless you make a certain amount of money or get to that point in your 40s. If you're a hard worker, unless you're blessed. I mean, some people can get out there and make money like crazy. But, it's reasonable expectations, understanding that there were others who came before you, and there's a vast body of knowledge and culture that children can step into. But media today, influencers today on the TV have these kids thinking that, that parents are holding them back.
Yeah.
They're telling them to have good work ethics, to get that first job. I remember when I came, I was working at a movie theater in middle school. I was in elementary school. My last year elementary school, my middle name was Joseph, so they called me Joey. And my close family, I had Joey's Lawn Service. I used to go up and down, cut lawns for $5 a piece. Did an excellent job. So building the entrepreneurial spirit, letting them realize, yes, you can do it on your own, but what is your skill set? How are you developing your skill set? If you don't let your past hinder you, you're fine.
Yeah, there you go. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Let me go to who let me see what I got here. Tucson, hadn't spoke to you in a minute. What's on your heart, brother? We're going to change. This is going to be the last one on this topic unless somebody else got something they want to say, but we're going to switch topic after this. Tucson, what's on your heart?
Yeah, and I agree with there's a divide. There's an echo too. But see, we are going off the scene. We live in a mean and a nasty and a conniving and a tricky society. We got to have somebody to pass this baton to, but I'm reaching out to pass the baton and nobody catching it. That's a problem.
Yes, sir.
In the relay of life. That's an issue. We all go.
No.
I know, Raheem.
Yeah.
I know, Raheem.
I would got to stop it.
But we got a life full of problems. But we come up with all kinds of problems, but nobody coming up with a solution. Resolve. Anybody can come up with a problem. Or we got a problem over here. Well, don't panic. Don't panic.
Yeah.
That's life. That's called life. Whatever it is. It's whatever issue that you run into, it's not the issue. There's a solution to it because there's nothing. It's a rotation of how things happen in every one of our lives. And the way that society is going right now, and I'm gonna throw this in for free, they've excluded God out of all of it.
Wow.
That's a figment of your imagination, and the white man wrote the Bible and all that kind of stuff. And we are the true Israelites, and we've been bamboozled. Okay, all right. I know who I am. That's not the problem. How are you going to function in a manipulated society that people have been throwing out this scenario all this time? So since you are so smart, and I'm saying that these kids are brilliant, but the thing about it is when we try to head them in the right direction, what happens is what happened this morning. They bashing young folks.
Yeah. And that's
without instructions. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Without instructions, you get advice from your peers. And that happened to one king. I don't forgot who he was. It had to do with and the older men. He went to the older men, and they gave him advice how to run the kingdom. Then he went to his peers, and they said, treat him mean and nasty and ugly. And he followed the instructions of his peers. How did that work out for you?
Wow.
Listen to somebody that has some experiences in life, and you're probably better off.
Yep. Listen to somebody that's lived. Listen to somebody that's lived. I can't expect my grandkids to go in school or something and listen to people that's in the same grade as them, the same age as them, and want them to teach them something. They ain't lived. They ain't lived. Come and ask me.
That teacher don't know nothing. That teacher don't know nothing.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
she's the teacher.
Exactly.
The reason why you're the student.
Absolutely. Anybody else got anything they want to say on this topic before we move on?
Raheem, that's why I sing and play the blues and have so many blues musicians who are mentors and everything else, because the blues is about history and music. And when you listen to some real artists, that's knowledge that's coming out, knowing that you are not the first person that went through heartbreak or a cheating woman.
Wow.
Or man for some people. So.
Exactly. Anybody else? Anything they want to say before we move on? Okay. I'm gonna play this clip real quickly. This clip is about maybe about 2 minutes long. I'm gonna play this clip and I got to say it, man. The fella in this clip is quite handsome. Y'all will see what I mean in a minute. But here you go. Let me play this clip. All right, where you at now? Got me messed up. There you go. Hello, everybody. My name is Raheem Algermain. I'm here at DK Media Group and Associates. We're having our first annual Spades Tournament. We're having a Spade Tournament. This is a Spade Tournament that we're putting on a community fundraiser event. If you think you know how to play spades, if you think you got the game down of spades, you got yourself a partner, or if you don't have a partner, you want us to pair you up with a partner, we can do that as well. But this Spades Tournament is going to be Saturday, April the 20th. Saturday, April the 20th. 2024. It's going to be over in Atlanta. It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're in or around the Atlanta, Georgia area, make sure you come out. Sign up early, because there will be no sign-ups at the door. There will be no sign-ups at the door. We have to get our brackets, get everything ready for when people come to play. We want to make sure that they're ready. They don't have to wait. We're going to come in. Doors open at 6 o'clock. The tournament itself starts at 7. Do not eat before you get there. It will be catered. There will be some amazing food there. For the people that do drink, there will be some drinks there as well. I don't drink, but some people do. And we will have drinks for those people as well. So make sure you come on out. It is a fundraiser. We're trying to take underprivileged elementary level kids on a free trip, all expense paid, to Six Flags over Georgia. You're participating in the game that you love. Spades would enable us to do the things that we need to do to help these children. Counting on you. Come on out. Let's have a great time. Saturday, April the 20th. Saturday, April the 20th. This year, Saturday, April the 20th. Get in contact with me. I will have the information on the screen so you can actually hit the link and sign up. Okay? Do it early. Please don't wait till the last minute, because if you come to the door, you'll be able to come in, but you won't be able to play in the tournament. All right. Looking forward to each and every one of you coming. Let's come together, have a great day, a great event for a greater cause. Looking forward to each and every one of you. Thank you in advance, and I will see you April the 20th. Good deal. Mo, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Talk to me, brother.
I'm going to be at the Spades Tournament.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
I'm gonna run a Boston on y'all. I'm gonna stick the big joker on my forehead when you think you got me booked. I'm gonna make you renege, you Negro. You're gonna go cry and screaming. I'm gonna talk trash. And I'm gonna cut you with my spade.
Look here, I'm just saying that that sound to me like a challenge. So if anybody out there know how
challenge,
that's a challenge. That's a challenge.
I'm with you.
Are you going to step up to the challenge? Or are you going to
step up? I'm going to bring my lady friend. Once we're talking about the kids and what you have to sacrifice, I'm finally starting to date again after getting this rebellious Negro out my house.
Oh,
I don't need a Nat Turner. You're free already, boy.
Wow. Oh, wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-35. Go ahead and change this topic for a second. I'm going to start off with Cassandra. Cassandra, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Cassandra, I'm going to ask you a question, a very unfair question, but I want you to answer from your heart, okay? Fair enough?
Yeah, I might lie, but go ahead. Throw it out there.
Cassandra, what what are you honestly afraid of?
What am I what?
What are you honestly afraid of?
Raheem, can't nobody hear you. Can't nobody hear the question, Raheem.
Okay. Hey, Cassandra, roll your window up. I think you got your window rolled down, Cassandra. There you go. Cassandra, can you hear me now?
I'm on mute and I'm traveling into New York City, so I can't mute the
Okay.
sound. So I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me come right back. Let me come right back to you. Let me come right back to you in just 1 second. Curtis. Unmute your phone,
Yeah,
Curtis. Curtis, what are you
yeah.
what are you honestly afraid of? This is the time you're supposed to talk,
Huh.
Curtis.
Um, no, Raheem, at this point in my life, I'm not afraid of nothing, man.
Mm.
At this point in my life, with everything that I got going, I'm not afraid of nothing, man.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I did not live the best of it.
Mm-hmm. Now watch this. Now
I did not live.
you go fishing and a snake crawl across your feet, you ain't gonna jump.
No, like I don't like my response time is not like it's a snake.
Mm-hmm.
I can always pick my foot. You know, thank God for lessons. You know, God will teach you lessons throughout your life, and when you start lining that up with what the scriptures say, and how they move, and you start really like applying the theory of what the biblical text tell you, what am I jump for? I can always pick my foot up and put my foot right on top of the snake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm above the snake,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that ain't to say that I'm gonna sit here and play with it and wait for it to bite me. You know, I'm not foolish,
Mm-hmm.
but if a snake crawl past my foot, I'm gonna pick my foot up and put it on his neck,
Mm-hmm.
put it on his head. That's the easiest way to stop it. You put it on his tail, he gonna swing around and bite you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, at this point in my life, Raheem, I'm not afraid of anything. If I was to pinpoint something that gives me concern, is I'm concerned about the world that will be left to my boys when I'm gone.
Mm.
That concerns me. Um, every day I get up and every night I go to bed, I say a prayer that God at night is God. Thank you for protecting my two black boys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for holding them and molding them and keeping them close to you. Continue to protect them. And every morning when I get up, God, thank you for protecting my boys. Because looking at what's going on right now, you know, you done heard me say this before, and I'll say it again. Um, when all this stuff was going on with the Trayvon Martins and the George Floyds and the Eric Garners and the Bernard Castros and all of that, man, God always, because I'm a creative, that's when I get my used to write poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'll never forget, man, he put in me one line, and one line said, um, as my eyes open to the ending of the night and the dawning of the sun, God, please protect because I have one that won't run and
Mm-hmm.
one who carries a gun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. That's
I
good.
know I know what I raised, brother Raheem. I know what I raised, and I know the
Good deal. Hold right there,
I
Curtis.
know the level of
Mm-hmm.
commitment they have.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T. And again, we stay within a 3-minute window. So get everything you got to see within that 3 minutes. Toya with a T. Truth of the matter. What are you honestly afraid of?
God.
Come on, Toya. Come on. There you go.
I don't want no problems with him. I ain't scared of nothing else on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. No situation. Things I may be scared of, I'm still gonna do it. I used to be scared to fly. Sometimes when I get on the plane, I'm still nervous. Anything can
Mm-hmm.
happen. You
Yeah.
absolutely right. Every day I wake up, anytime I walk out the door, you're absolutely right. Anything can happen. Sometimes when I be saying something to people when they doing something wrong, whether they're young or old, for me, it's a bunch of people just going off. I'm gonna say something anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Only one I don't want no problems with is the Lord, man.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only thing or being or man that I fear. Other than that, everything else can be maneuvered. And because he is in me, everything else got to bow down. Come on now. He make demons
Mm-hmm.
tremble. I be
Exactly.
looking for stuff to get myself into. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Because he is in me. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to pick, but I am saying I will have a giant. I'll be looking for giants. And I haven't seen shot in rocks. And if he say sling, I'm slinging. So
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't fear nothing or no one but God.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bob, let me stop my timer because told you she did good, man. She got over a minute and a half left. She did real good. I'm try
I'm
Cassandra.
ready.
There you go. I was just gonna come to you. I just
Yep.
call your name.
Real quick. Look. I'm sitting in traffic, so real quick. Let me tell y'all what I'm afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
Ladybugs, dragonflies. Um, I'm talking. Look, I ain't scared of no human. I ain't scared of no man.
Mm-hmm.
But you put a ladybug, a dragonfly, whatever, anything crawling and creeping, and I'm freaking out. I don't care how little it is. I do not do bugs.
Man,
As
Cassandra.
powerful as Cassandra is, you mean the
I
clan
ain't
could stop
playing.
her with the ladybug?
I ain't playing.
A ladybug.
I'm sorry. I'm
Here
telling
you
the truth.
go.
Is it what is it, Cassandra? Is it the little fancy little colors that's on is her back? Is it the little fancy little colors?
Listen, I don't know, but I don't like no bugs. I don't care what it is.
Mm,
I'd be like, my daughter's like, Mama, it's a ladybug, Mama. It's not gonna do anything to you. It's on me. It's trying to get near me. That's it. I'm freaking out.
Lord. Okay, a ladybug. A ladybug. Okay. Cassandra, I'm gonna say this to you. If you can, I know you're traveling and you got Lenore's in the background, but if you can, stay with us because we have a guest that's coming on that you're gonna be very interested in. They're coming on about 9:15, 9:30. And so if you can, hang out with us because you're gonna love the guest that we got today. Let me keep this thing going. Mo, talk to me, brother. What are you afraid of?
As
I got Claire.
existentially, I'm sorry.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Go
Oh,
ahead, Mo.
existentially, I mean, Curtis hit it for me too. It's fear of failing my children, my sons. I
Mm-hmm.
only got two.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one thing that make me happy. I got two little boys, and they both call me Pappy, so I ain't studying it. So I need to make sure of that. Outside of the existential thing, my biggest fear is being unhappy
Mm-hmm.
in life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I've sacrificed so much for others that I don't want to be unhappy. I want to feel fulfilled. So unfulfillment is a fear for me.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Donald Toussaint, if you had to sit honestly and answer this honest question, what are you afraid of, sir?
Staying ignorant.
Mm. Mm.
I'm terrified of it. I don't mind being ignorant. That way, I done check myself and search myself.
Mm-hmm.
I done looked at me, not nobody else. I done looked at me. And I said, okay, you missing the point. You hadn't learned this, or you hadn't achieved this, or you don't get it yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
How to function. You're ignorant about this thing right here, and you need to do something about it. Terrifies me.
Mm. Wow.
I'm for real. Now I'm scared of snakes. Now I don't fool with no snakes.
Mhm.
I don't see how people have pet snakes. I don't even
No,
want no pet lizard.
no, no.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
And I don't eat nothing that eat me.
Mm. You want?
Like, they tell me crocodile, alligator is good, but they eat you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then shark, that's good meat once it's hot, but they eat you.
Yeah.
So I don't. But but ignorance,
Mm-hmm.
ignorance is something that, ah man, I'll be like, oh, that mercy, Lord, show me something. Because that terrifies me for
Mm-hmm.
real. I mean, really, I'm talking about really terrifies me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Wow.
why I always get me, and we talked about it earlier. I always get me an elder to
Yeah.
direct me.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
I
good.
got a man right now, and I might almost all the time that I begged him. No, almost, I didn't beg him, but I asked him. First time he said, "Nope, y'all don't listen." I said, "I need a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I need a somebody to advisor. I need a somebody." He said, "Nope." He talked to his wife about it. She said, "Why you don't do it?" He said, "They don't listen." I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Man, look, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I
Yeah.
need somebody to help me because I'm trying to help people. And if
Mm-hmm.
I don't know somebody that already paved the way, I'm gonna make a lot more mistakes than I would make if I didn't have you.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, look, just let me give me an opportunity
Yeah.
to sit at your table
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to be ignorant."
Exactly. Wow. That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We got, I think that's Shanavia. Shanavia, that's you, sis? Are you with us?
Yes, sir. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this
Hey,
morning?
baby.
Hey,
Good
Mister.
morning. Good morning.
They gotta have their sister.
Ooh,
They gotta have their sister moment. They gotta have their sister moment. But Navy, I want to ask you a
me
question.
and you.
I want to ask you a question. Everybody mute your line. I want to ask you a question, Navy. Honestly, and I want you to honestly answer this question. Okay, as honestly as you can.
Okay.
What are you afraid of?
What am I afraid
Yes.
of? Well, other than God, definitely afraid of Him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of don't want to make Him mad,
Yeah.
but
Uh-huh.
no, seriously speaking, other than God, I'm afraid of not like fulfilling my purpose
Mm-hmm.
or dying before I fulfill my purpose, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm still trying to figure that out and I'm still exploring the different facets of that. So aside from God, dying before I fulfill my purpose, um, I don't judge me, but I am a frog can have my whole house.
Good
I'm
Lord.
terrified of frogs.
A fraud.
Um,
A fraud.
yes,
Yes, yes,
frogs.
Look here.
yes.
No,
They're
no, no,
creepy.
no,
They're
no.
slimy.
No, 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 no.
If
What you need to do, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do.
no,
No, let me tell you what I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna give you some advice. If a frog jump to your front porch and jump in your house, this what you pick him up, look him in his eyes, and you give him the best kiss you could give him.
ooh,
Give him the best kiss you could give him.
I
He
I
might.
could have
There
never
you
been a princess if that's how I was going to get married. I would probably just be single forever and ever. Amen. I cannot, will not. No, I will pack up and move. I ain't even got to go in and pack up. Like
Mm,
I have literally sat in my car because there was a rain frog on my door and my neighbor had to come and get it. Like I'm
wow.
not messing with no frogs. I don't know why. I cannot tell you where that fear came from. And
Mm.
I'm a tomboy. Like I can do the lizard, I can do the spiders, I can ruffle feathers, I'll fight people. But if you want to other than God, if you want to bring me down, put a frog in my face. I'll fold every time.
See,
Okay,
that's the thing.
Ronnie, so can I write this down real quick? So Cassandra is ladybugs.
Mm-hmm.
She's frogs. Okay. All right. Need one more so I know how to defeat and conquer people.
I'm just shocked at what they say they are afraid of, man. Because these are powerful women, man. Toya with a T. What animal can we use, Toya? Talk to me now. Now, to go, Sandra, it's a ladybug. A ladybug. Lord, my Jesus. Uh, Navy is a frog. Toya with a T. Which one is it with you? Oh, she ain't gonna admit it. Look at that. Look at that. She ain't gonna say nothing. Toya with a T, you there? She said, I'm not giving you no ammunition.
There you go.
I am not giving you no ammunition at all. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Chickens. I don't mind them break the fries.
Man, you
But
scared of
them live ones that's walking out in the yard
man.
and geese
What?
and guinea pigs.
Oh Lord Jesus. Well, I'm finding out some things
And
today.
then I ain't gonna get close to a duck.
Ducks are delicious.
Absolutely.
They
Absolutely.
are delicious.
Mm-hmm.
They are delicious, but when they're in the yard, you don't want to be in when I don't know what it causes them to attack you.
Chase them.
A chicken, you get around them little chicklets, and you think that these delicious birds won't do you something.
Listen.
They will hurt you.
I'm gonna tell you what you do. I'm gonna tell you what you do, Tucson. This is what you do. This is what you do right here, Tucson. When you get out there, you're in the yard and you get around the little chicklets, little chickens, and those try to attack you. Reach in your back pocket and pull out that Tabasco hot sauce and shake it up a little bit. Just shake it up. Shake that Tabasco hot sauce up. I guarantee you.
By the power of Frank's Red Hot.
But you know, we used to have to go. Mama used to Dad used to tell us, go out in the yard and go get me a chicken. But if you catch a chicken on the wrong day, not only it's hard to catch them, but you can't run from them. I'm scared of them jokers.
Wow. I'm
telling you, they have traumatized me. To the point, you ever been attacked by a duck?
No.
They won't stop. Or a goose, they won't stop. They spread them wings and they make that noise that scares the heck out of me. I'm telling you. But they look, hey Mo, but they are delicious. You can bake them and you can fry them. You can cut
I
them
got
up
a true
in
story for
little
you about
pieces
chicken.
and you can make nuggets out of them. They'll peck the heck out of you.
Hey, Tucson, why is it that it sounds to me like you're speaking from experience?
I'm telling you.
Tucson, have you been attacked by a duck?
As a kid, I don't know if it was a child or not, but if they get you in the corner, you can't run no more.
Lord.
I ain't talking about something somebody told me. I'm talking about something I know. You get out in the park and you say, I'm gonna go feed the duck. But when the duck don't feel like being fed, they attack you.
Tucson, it's not your fault. It's a slave master who scared the people with a chicken.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you.
I'm just saying. We're gonna move on from this topic because I'm finding out too much about y'all doing this topic. I'm finding out too much. A ladybug. Go ahead, Mo. You wanted to say something real quick.
Yeah, this goes back to chicken and Sidney Poitier's book, This Life, his autobiography that he wrote. He talked about when he was 11 or 12 years old and wanted to experience women, and he didn't know what to do with sex, so he took the chicken and went under the porch and tried to have sex with the chicken underneath his porch in St. Kitts. And he came back and the kid chicken scratched and pecked him. He was bloody and stuff like that. And his mama asked what happened. And he said, the chicken attacked me. And don't you know they cooked that chicken?
Wow.
Because of that. But Sidney Poitier admitted he tried to have sex with the chicken. And that's why he got all scratched up.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Some stories you keep to yourself. Some stories you don't. I want to share.
Hey, right here.
Yeah.
Hey, right here.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie though. I feel dumb. The most gangster thing I ever seen in my life, and I'm from Baltimore, man. I have seen some real gangster things happen right in front of my face.
Mm-hmm.
The most gangster thing I ever seen happened in my life. I was on vacation in Costa Rica,
Mm-hmm.
and my cousin had a friend there. She wanted us to go to church with her, so we went to church in Costa Rica, where we were staying at. Where she went to church, there's an island off of the coast. There's an island where people live, and the church was there. I will never in my life forget this, man. So we catch like on the island, you can walk anywhere. It's not that big of an island. But when you get off the ferry, you gotta take a ferry there. You get off the ferry, you can either walk the way you want to go, or they got dudes that's got cars and they'll take you for a couple of hours or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we take the car up, and on the way back after church, my cuz looked at me, he was like, yo, we gonna wait for the car. I'm like, nah, man, we can go on and walk back. It ain't that far, you know what I mean? Like, we from Baltimore. Like, that's not even a skip.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, all right. So we walking down the road, man, to get back to the ferry, right? And as we walking down the road, I see 4 dogs. They walking up the road, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I see a chicken come out the wood. He come out the wood, and all 4 of these dogs, they stop, like they priming up, like, oh, yes, sir, we got one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, that chicken stopped, man. He looked at each one of them dogs for at least 5 seconds, bro. I told my cousin, I said, yo, stop walking. Let's see how this thing play out. He like, man, go ahead. I said, no, let's see how this play out. That chicken looked at each one of them dogs for about 5 seconds. Next thing you know, you see each dog start backing up. That man shook his head right here. He shook his head and then just trotted off like boom. He walked down the street with us. I say, man, you a gangster.
Hey, them chickens.
Oh my God, bro.
Watch this.
I ain't never seen. It's the first time I ever seen a chicken by himself punk 4 dogs.
Look
Because
here.
I just knew they was gonna rap him. I just knew it. You know what I mean?
But look here, I'm gonna tell you.
That mother looked at them. He jumped for about 5 seconds right here.
Mm-hmm,
You know how chicken move.
Yeah.
He looked at one about 5 seconds. He looked over at the other about 5 seconds. He looked behind him at the other about 5 seconds. Man, I see the mud start backing up. I said, Lord have mercy. The chicken done poked.
Wow. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Maybe the chicken ain't chicken at all, huh? Maybe the chicken ain't chicken at all. Mm-hmm. Next topic. Anybody have anything else they want to say on this topic before we move on? I got one more we're gonna talk to before our guests get here.
Chickens or fear?
Ever saw a chicken, a hawk or an eagle attack a chicklet and see what the hen do to him? Beat that eagle down.
Good Lord. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. You're listening to DKM Media Group and Associates, and this is The Morning Glow. This is The Morning Glow. We're here every day from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock. So make sure you continue to share the broadcast. Invite some of your friends, your family, your enemies, or whoever you got. Invite them to come and listen in as well. Invite them to come and listen, because you need, everybody need a piece or a portion or a part of The Morning Glow. Y'all need it in y'all life. I need it. I know a few of us here need The Morning Glow. It helps us all out in so many different ways. It helps me out being here talking about the topics that we talk about, build and we're building each other, one brick on top of another, and we're building each other up. We're definitely building each other up. So make sure you share the broadcast and invite some people to come out. Invite some people to come on out and listen in. We got so many different platforms that they can actually tune in on. Give them your favorite. Tell them to tune in on whatever one you're listening to right now or you're watching right now. Have them to do the same thing. All right? Do that for us. Now, let me go to Toya with a T. You back with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Toya, I want to ask you a question. It's early in the morning. 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Your phone your phone call. Your phone rings. Your phone rings, right? And you answer the phone. And in absolute honesty, they say that Toya with a T, this is your wake-up call. This is your wake up call. We talk about the we talked about the young people earlier in the broadcast. Now let's talk about each other. Let's talk about ourselves. Toya, what is or what would that be? What is your wake up call?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I feel like the young folks. I feel like I'm woke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got a call from the Lord that I feel like was my wake up call. And my wake up call that I wasn't doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
following him. You playing yourself. You really possessed. But
Mm-hmm.
no, you're not. You need to be taking advantage of life. You need to be more happy. You need to be thanking God for things. And that was my wake up call out of the blue, out of nowhere. Get me
Mm-hmm.
back on track because I was off the path. I thought I was doing all right, but I was doing worldly things, doing what you want to do, not really taking people seriously, maybe a little
Mm-hmm.
hustling here, hustling there. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't focused on God at all. You know what I'm saying? So for me, when our wake up call came, it was him. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? He was that wake up call, calling me, letting me know that he need me to snap out of it, getting off course. I love you, but I need you to tighten up. I need you to remember who I am. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to wake up calls, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, that sound around the time he'll wake you up and he'll start talking to you. That sound about right.
Mm-hmm.
That was the wake up call. God calling me, telling me to get back on board.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's good. That's good. And we all have to get those wake up calls, man. They're very important. They are very important. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, you get a phone call 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You pick up the phone and they say, Donald, this is your wake up call. What is that wake up call, Tucson? What are they saying to you?
Huh? Oh man, I don't know. Uh, I don't know, man.
That's a heck of a question, huh?
I guess I have to. I have to. I just have to because I'm always doing it. I almost have to kind of scan through my life and see what I'm missing, what I'm liking, what do I need to improve on me.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I'm trying to do, what is it that the missing ingredients?
Mm-hmm.
Who do I need to talk to? Where do I need to go? How do I need to function? How do I need to change? My outlook on life. How am I wrong about how I think?
Mm-hmm.
Because unless I take a good look at me, then no matter what time of day they wake me up, if all I think is I'm all right, then I got a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. That wake up call, man. That wake up call could be it could be life changing. It could really be life changing. Mo, what do you say? What do you say to a brother? It's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Your phone rang, you answer the phone, and they say, Mo, this is your wake up call. What are they saying to you? What are they telling you?
Prepare yourself. There's going to be a drastic life change.
Mm-hmm.
And this happened to me just before Christmas, past Christmas, where I found myself with my blood pressure 87 over 58 in the hospital and battling sepsis, to where
Mm.
my temperature got so high that they came in and put ice packs all around my body. My kids were at the apartment. They couldn't get to me at the hospital, and I couldn't get to them. And I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
call family, and I had no visitors at the time, even though I had friends, because no one came to me, and the angel of death came to me.
Mm.
And it wasn't a voice, it wasn't a female or male, it was just a presence that was telling me to give up. And I didn't
Mm.
do it. Once I got out of that hospital, I said, the kids say woke. I was not only woke, but the other thing the kids say, no cap. It was no cap.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to my relationships. I had broken up with my fiance because of issues with my son. And I said, I'll just be alone for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm ready to date again, I will date again. And it was
Mute
a
your
very
line,
hard,
Curtis.
it was a very hard thing, but it was a wake up call to ask me, all right, you almost died. Now what are you going to do? What's going to make you happy? What's going to press you forward? It was a true wake up call, and that's one of the reasons I'm talking to you and on the air with DKM Radio right now.
Praise God, praise God, praise God. Cassandra, and glad you're here, brother. Cassandra, you there?
Yes, I am.
3 o'clock in the morning, your phone rang. You answer the phone. Hello, hello, hello. And they say, Cassandra Alexander Green. This is your wake up call. What is that conversation like? What are they telling you?
If you don't do different with your health and do some of the stuff you're being told, you are not going to continue to be here.
Mm-hmm.
That was my wake up call.
Mm.
And that's the true story.
Yeah. Tell us about it.
I hadn't been taking care of myself the way I should. I don't like water. I'm still praying about that. I may drink a bottle of water a week.
Wow.
Every 2 weeks. And I know that is a huge part of my problem. But I mean, the Spirit of God spoke to me. If you don't start doing better with your health, you're not going to be here. And it's not going to be because I'm choosing it. It's because of your choice.
Wow. Wow. Them wake up calls, man. Them wake up calls in life changing. Could be very threatening, but at the same time, life changing. Toy, you want to talk to me, sis?
What did they say in Vietnam? 24 and a 3365 and a wake up.
Exactly.
People are on tour of duty.
Exactly. Toy, you want to you there? Let me go to Curtis. Curtis, talk to me, brother. That wake up call, brother. That wake up call. What does it sound like? What does it look like? What is it?
Well, if I was to sum it up in words, I think it's your touch to reality. Eminem had a song, Back to Reality. Oops, there goes gravity. For me, it's always the opportunity. I don't take wake-up calls as a bad thing. Some people automatically gravitate to it being something bad.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think wake-up calls is the universe's way of teaching you a valuable lesson or allowing you to see a moment of instruction and correction. So that's how I take it. I get them because I don't always get them. Sometimes I get them just in terms of you need to get up and start writing. You need to get up and create. You need to get up and study your lines. You need to get up and do some work. I'm reminded when you talk about it. I'm reminded of a play I did where I played Dr. King, and the play was called The Mountaintop, and it's set in the Lorraine Motel on April 3rd, 1968. And he get a wake-up call via visit and then actually get the chance to talk to God on the phone. Now, of course, it's a fiction, but process the fact that God was telling him, all right, buddy, tomorrow is your last day. Has always, in all of the theatrical things that I've done, that particular part has always been a focal point in what I do, not only as an actor, but as a creator. Because how do you process that? How do you process if God sends a messenger to you and they tell you, all right, Raheem, tomorrow at 6:37 p.m., you leaving this earth. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're leaving, buddy. you're leaving.
Wow. Kurt, how do you prepare? How would you prepare for that? If you knew at tomorrow at 6, whatever it is, in the 6 o'clock hour, it's going to be your last moment. It's going to be the period on that sentence of life for you. How do you prepare for that? Oh Lord.
You know, sometimes the elders will teach you a message in what they do and what they say that we might take it as, oh, that was a phenomenal speech, or that was a phenomenal moment, not even realizing that it was a phenomenal speech, thanks, Cap, and a phenomenal moment because it allowed for you as the individual to exist in your truth. You know, it makes me think about, you know, I might not get there with you, but let me let you know that we will get to the promised land.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just, for me, if I was to prepare, it would just mean that, okay, for these last 12, 14 hours, I'm going to exist in a truth that I have never existed in before in my life.
Wow. 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 Let me go to Mo. Mo, you're being told that at the 6 o'clock hour tomorrow, 6 p.m. tomorrow.
You dropped out. I can't hear you.
Yeah. At the 6 o'clock hour, you've been told at the 6 p.m. hour tomorrow, there's going to be a period on the sentence of life for you.
Okay.
What do you do? Maybe you have 24 hours, a little bit more. Well, yeah, maybe 24 hours left. What do you do with those 24 hours?
Well, I would look at the people who know that if I was gone, I would look at the people who realize that when I was gone, that I loved them and they will continue to love me. So I get in contact with I do, people talk about life assurance, but I would want love assurance. I would want to be able to talk to those I love and be sure that they knew that I loved them and that they loved me. I would have no fear of judgment from God because the price has already been paid. I ain't killed nobody. You know, I did not willingly do harm to anybody. My heart will be lighter than the feather, of equal weight. So I would try to, people closest around me, I would contact. Everything else, you know, tell my sons that hey, whatever dad had is yours now, and tell them to remember your father and remember that he loved you and he loved family and that he loved God. Yes. And that I'm going to go to peace with them now. And don't you be afraid of me, and you walk with victory and not in grief.
That's good.
You know, when I am viewed and not seen anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Toussaint, you get that message, man. It comes to you plain as day. At the 6 o'clock hour, 6 p.m. hour tomorrow. This thing that you looked at, that you call life, is going to be over. You're going to cease to exist. You have 24 hours, Toussaint. What do you do with that 24 hours?
I would first thank God for the heads up, which it ain't coming. I don't know, maybe so. My grandfather told us that he was not going to be here. Forewarned. So he knew. But I thank God for that. I really would. And then I would probably ask him if he thought that my house was in order. Because I don't know. I know we all believe that we got our house in order.
Yeah.
But I would have to, since I got a 24-hour, I got 24 hours to seek forgiveness, to forgive, to to replenish some relationships that I've damaged or have damaged me,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can lay down in peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. I would have at least most of that conversation with my family and God.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I spend the rest of that time. I wouldn't go nowhere. I wouldn't try to do nothing. I wouldn't try to catch up with nothing. I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
try to resolve the forgiveness and that on my part and their part as best I could. But I'd be in a state that, Lord, I'm in your hands now.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else that I could fix. Nothing else that I could do. I got this time, and I'd rather spend it with you. That's a
Wow.
rhyme.
Yeah,
Oh, that was good.
I heard you over there rapping. Yeah. MC2
But
song.
yeah, that's,
See,
that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that I had enough sense to do that.
Yeah.
To resolve my things with mankind, the ones that I know, and with him.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Toya with a T. Toya with a T, you with us? Are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. What do you do, Toya? Now you get the call. You get to wake up, you get the message, if you will. Let's say message that tomorrow, and you know where it came from. Tomorrow at the 6 o'clock hour, you have 24 hours. This thing called life that you know it is going to cease to exist for you. What do you do with the last 24 hours?
I mean, any day can be your last 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. But you know that you got the message. God himself told you that tomorrow, you're going, I'm bringing you home. You got
Oh,
24
tomorrow my
hours.
last day?
Yeah, tomorrow's your last day. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep then. What am I supposed to do? Stay up? I mean, what I'm supposed to do? You just
Yeah.
said I'm finna go home. What I'm gonna do something for?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't
Wow.
doing nothing.
You don't want to tie up any
Absolutely.
loose ends or talk to anybody or see anybody.
No,
None of
I'm
that.
trust me. I'm good. I don't hold nothing back. I'm good where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't no loose ends and tying up, honey. I might give a couple of things away. Might not. Might let them just sort it out. I'm not doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm finna lay my butt down, have my last little drink, have my last little joint, and just go ahead and wait till he get there, cause that's about all I can do. When I'm gonna do something for him,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there's no need to do nothing. And I'm very outspoken. Trust me, you have no problem knowing how I feel or how I feel
Mm-hmm.
about what you did to me or what you've done. And if you've done something at this age, ain't no tying up no loose ends. You knew what you did, just like I know what you did.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I ain't got no qualms with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Gucci. I hope everybody else is Gucci. You ain't cry for me then, don't cry for me now. But at the end of the day, yeah, nah, I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm finna go ahead and lay on down, honey, and just wait till the Lord come. I've been waiting on you, Lord. Where you been? Took so
Mm-hmm.
long for.
What you say? I've been waiting on you.
Waiting on you, Lord.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for you to get me out of here with these people.
Man, look here. You talking about I got 24 hours. I've been waiting on you for 10 years. What do you mean?
Okay. I don't know about no 10 years now, but I know it
Mm-hmm.
is inevitable. And I know that I've always been inevitable. So, being scared to die has never been a fear of mine.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But I tell you, there are some days where it's just like, Lord, what are you waiting on? Like, I already know that's where I got to go. Why you still got me here dealing with these people?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come
Mm-hmm.
on, the jokes. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I love life. But I know that death is inevitable. And
Yeah.
if to be absent from the body is to be present from the Lord, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared of that. I'm ready to go back to where I came from.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow. Wow. And I'm looking at the time. It is now 9:23. I see our guest is here. He's actually in the green room in the back. So we're gonna bring him in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I want to go to you just popped off the screen. More, I was ready to come to you, brother. There you go.
Yes, sir.
You got 24 hours, man. You only had 24 hours left. Um, what is the most valuable thing that you want to spend your time with, your existence with in that 24 hours? God told you you're coming home. tomorrow in the 6 o'clock hour. So you only got 124 hours left. What are you
I
going to do?
would, um, I would, unfortunately, my band, Jack Lake Preacher,
Mm-hmm.
um, band members have passed. My good friend Sammy Blue, the Crown Prince of the Blues, um, and some other people, Lola Gully and people like that, play Northside. I would like to do an
Mm-hmm.
entire blues show with my band, playing my harp, my harmonica, and have just all my loved ones and friends there and have a great time and
Watch
just
this. Watch this.
play the blues.
Ain't that sad music though? Sometimes the blues should be sad. It's called the blues for a reason. Now you don't want to play no happy music. You want to play some blues.
Oh no, the blues can be happy now. Come on, everybody, let's have some fun. You
Mm-hmm.
only live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll.
Let the
So
good
that
times
started
roll.
off with that song.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Tucson, we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this part with you, and then we're gonna bring the guests in, and we're gonna have a conversation with our guests. I'm so I'm pumped that our guest is here, man, and y'all gonna be very amazed as to who it is and what he does. Absolutely amazing work. Absolutely amazing work. But Tucson, what are you going to do with your 24 hours?
I gathered my family
Mm-hmm.
together, and I took it. And again, I would try to make sure that everything's okay with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Get them prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, you know what? I'd go and ask them if they want to come, and we're gonna go to the blues show with Mo
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
Sure
Well,
would.
I hmm but I asked the question, but I'm the question asker. Normally I don't answer the question, but that's a pretty deep question, man. What would I do with my last 24 hours? What would I do with my last 24 hours? That's something. That's something to think about. You only have 24 hours left, and you know it. God Himself has came and told you that you have 24 hours, 6 o'clock hour tomorrow. This thing called life as you know it is going to cease to exist. What do you
Can I
do?
have a slap fight? I'm sorry. Can I have a slap fight with Donald Trump? Could that count if he's willing?
No, no, you're not. No, no, no. Um, what would I do though? What would I do? What would I want to do? Is there any loose ends that I? Is there anybody that I've wronged that I need to go and make amends with? Do I even take the time to do that? Is that important enough for me that I make it right with that person before I go? There's so many different things. There's so many different things, man. Have I done everything right by my family, my wife, my kids, and my have I done everything right by them? Is there some wounds that I've caused in them that I need to go and help heal? What do I do with my earthly possessions? I certainly can't take them with me. Who do I give them to? There's so many different levels on this thing, and I love that. But right now, I'm about to bring our guest in, and I want to bring him in right now. I'm gonna allow him to actually introduce himself. I'm going to do a little brief introduction. I'm going to let him introduce himself in depth. This is Mr. Nick Conti. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did.
Good deal. Good deal. This young man, let me tell y'all, this young man is absolutely amazing. If anybody is involved in the acting world, performing world, you have part of your journey. I guarantee you, part of your journey have to go through him.
Wow,
This
thank
this this gentleman has been, California, New York, and now he's stationed himself right here in Atlanta. And I promise you, you cannot talk about acting in Atlanta without talking about Mr. Nick Conti. So I thank you, sir. I know you're very yeah. I know you're very busy. You got a lot of things going on right now that you took the time to hang out with us on the Morning Glow. Definitely appreciate it. Now, what I want you to do right now is introduce yourself again and tell them just a little bit about you.
Sure. Hi. Well, first of all, thank you again for welcoming me on the show. And again, I'm Nick Conti, and I head up the professional actors studio here in Atlanta. And we've had the studio here for, I guess, it's about 26 years now.
Mm-hmm.
We work with all levels of actors, from advanced working actors to the very beginners, those that are just starting for the very first time. We do teach teenagers, but we teach a lot more of adults, is what we're known more for. And my background is I've been doing it for quite a long time, as you said. I started in New York as a young man. Thank you for calling me a young man, by the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so I've been on this journey in my life for 46, 47 years now. So, and it's been a wonderful journey for me. I think if anybody, if you get the opportunity to do what you love to do, then you're very blessed. Like
Hmm.
you love your show. I just learning more about you. I looked up, boy, you've been doing your show for a long time, and you have
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of guests that come on, and you can see that there's a real passion behind what you do,
Thank you.
and that's worth so much, I think, for whatever you choose to do.
Yes, sir.
Um, find your journey, and life overall is pretty good.
Hmm. Let me ask you the question last question that we posed today. Nick, if you, and I could call you Nick, is it okay? Okay, Nick, if you God Himself come to you and say that you have 24 hours to live, you only have 24 hours. At 6 o'clock tomorrow, life as you know it is going to cease to exist for you. What is it? What are the things that you would like to do within that 24 hours?
Boy, I was listening in the back room to this question that you were putting with others, but it's a tough question to answer.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
I'd probably ask him for an extension.
That's a good one there.
yes, yes. That's good. That's good.
Uh, I think it's important to be at peace.
Mhm.
Like you said, have you done the right thing, especially by the people that mean things in your life? You know, your family, your wife, if you have children, your friends, whatever it is,
Mhm.
that you can be at peace because um, I don't know. I've thought about this. I guess, unless someone came back to talk to me about it, I don't
Mhm.
know that anyone really knows what happens. Where do we
Yes.
really go, and or do we go, or what's it
Mhm.
like, or will we see our loved ones that have passed away as we get older? The one thing we're assured of is that people will move on,
Mhm.
and so we get older, and all of a sudden, you know, our uncles and our aunts or our parents or whatever, they pass on,
Mhm.
and you say, well, am I going to get to see them again?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and I've questioned that, because I don't know,
Mhm.
but I know some people feel strongly about it or less strongly about it. So, but I agree with what was said earlier about just making sure you've done your piece with
Yes.
all those that you need to, because this is your last 24 hours to do so.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'd like one last really good Italian dinner, and I'm
Yeah.
finished.
There you go. There you go. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about acting. Now,
Sure.
what made you want to start your organization, the professional actors studio? What led you to do that?
Um, Well, years ago, I started out as a young man as an actor in New York, and
Mhm.
trained, and fell in love with it, and I'm still in love with it to this day.
Yes.
And after doing it for a number of years, my agents in New York, I was lucky enough to get a chance to work on Broadway and off Broadway, and um, uh, I was on one of the soap operas for a while in New York, and got a chance to do some television and a few films. And my agents wanted me in LA.
Mhm.
So at some point, I said, "Yeah, let's." I'd only known New York my whole life, so I went to LA. I did about 11 years in LA, and by accident, a good friend of mine who was a very respected manager kind of oversaw this kind of weekly place where the professional actors could go and work their chops.
Mhm.
And I had strictly been an actor. And he said to me, his name was Don, and he said, "Hey, Nick, could you do me a favor? My guy who comes in and oversees the group
Yes.
is out of town. could you do me a favor? Would you go in and just kind of oversee it? Do
Hmm.
whatever you like in the class, cold reads or improv or talk about script analysis or whatever you want to do. And he says, and I'll pay you well. And I said to him, Don, I said, I'm an actor,
Hmm.
not a teacher. I'm an actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, it's okay. Just go do it for me. So
Hmm.
I reluctantly went and did it. A couple of days later, he calls me up and he says, a lot of people called and complained. So I said to him,
Wow.
I don't know what I can say. Can you say whatever you want on this show? I'll say it nicely. I told him to go to hell, but I didn't use those words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, I told you I'm not a teacher.
Hmm.
So he started laughing and he says, no, you don't understand. They don't want the other guy back. They want you.
Wow.
I went, huh?
Wow.
No, they want you. They don't want
Mhm.
the other guy back. I said,
So you took his job.
so then he said to me, look, he says, I know you tell me you're not. He said, but he says, would you try it for a month? It was
Hmm.
just once a week. Try it for a month. Again, he said, I'll pay you well.
Yes.
And if you don't like it, we're still good friends and we're square. So
Hmm.
I told him, let me think about it. I thought about it for a few days. I called him back. I said, you know what? Okay, let's try it. And that's how it started. I
Hmm.
actually started teaching by accident. It was purely by accident. By
Hmm.
the time I left LA, I had my own little class that I taught every week. And when I came to Atlanta, I decided at one point I wanted to change. I didn't
Hmm.
want to go back to New York. I didn't like the harsh winters anymore.
Yes.
And but something about LA never felt like home to me.
Mm.
So so I went and I explored other markets that were secondary markets,
Yes.
markets that were growing at that time, and Atlanta was one of them, and there was other places. And so I went and I visited several cities, and it was Atlanta that I just liked a little better. So
Hmm.
moved to Atlanta, and I came here in the spring of '97,
Hmm.
and so that I thought, well, okay, maybe I'll do my acting here, but that I would also see if there might be people who would want me to teach. And that's pretty much how it started, and it just continued to grow. And so that's kind of the quick synopsis of it. And now it's been, I don't know, 40, 40 some odd years
Hmm.
since I started the journey, and still do it till today. We're very lucky. We have a nice studio. Is it okay if I plug myself for a minute?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
We have a nice studio over on Piedmont Road in the
Hmm.
Buckhead area. And if people have never been to the studio before, anyone can come and sit in one time for free
Hmm.
and see if this is a place that they like. This way, if they don't like, they don't spend their money.
Hmm.
And I have a wonderful staff of teachers. Started with just me, and now there's 7 of us that teach. And all my adult instructors, my least experienced has over 20 years under their belt. So
Wow.
they're all highly experienced.
Yeah.
Um, and we do a lot of different things in the studio, and we have good equipment in the studio. And that's really about the whole thing in terms of just, you know, like we talked about, doing what you love to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we have a pretty good range too,
Hmm.
from
Hmm.
beginners to intermediates to advanced. We start the adults at 20, so 20 or over for the adults.
Hmm.
We have actors in the studio anywhere from 20 years old to 75
Wow.
that
Wow.
come and study. In fact, I've taught actors that started acting at 72. They never
Whew.
acted a day in their life, and they said, well, I did what I was supposed to do. I'm retired. I don't want to just sit around and, blah, 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 all day
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
want to do something. And
Exactly.
so they decide on finding a new thing to try. And I've been pleasantly surprised that I've watched actors in their latter years
Hmm.
actually go ahead and make money and have a new career late in life, because acting does not, some fields, you don't start to become a doctor at
Hmm.
65. It'd be
Mhm.
very hard. You don't start to become a lawyer at
Yeah.
65.
Yeah. Exactly.
But in the acting world, they don't fault you for it. The
Mhm.
key is to be good at what you do so that you can get paid for it.
Yeah.
But you're not faulted for being 85 or, or 12.
Mhm.
So,
Let me ask you this question. And we got quite a few other people here that I'm sure they want to ask you questions as well. If that's okay, I'm gonna pull them
sure.
into the conversation. But what do you think is a better quality to have? I'm not gonna say your best quality. What is a better quality to have? An eye for talent or being able to develop talent?
Do you mean as far as from the acting standpoint, what are the
Yes.
qualities?
Yes.
Okay.
When somebody walk into your door and they've never touched acting at all, is it better to have an eye for talent? You look at that person and say, "Well, yeah, I think they got it," or I'm gonna take this person as a ball of clay and I'm gonna mold them into being a great actor.
It's a good question, but I'm not so sure that there's a direct answer for that. For
Mhm.
for the most part, acting is a learned skill. It's
Mhm.
not any different than anything else.
Mhm.
Uh, the key, one of the things that I see with beginner actors that sometimes it takes them longer. I'm not so sure where I should put my focus up there or here. Should I keep my focus
Yeah, right
here?
there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right there. Mhm.
Is that a lot of times you think of acting differently, like, okay, I'll go and I'll study acting for 4 months and boom.
Yeah.
But things don't work that way in life. You don't become a great athlete in 4 months. You don't become a great musician or a singer or a dancer. You don't become professional at anything in 4 months.
Mhm.
So patience, discipline is very key. Uh, Being consistent, always going to the gym wherever you choose to go.
Mhm.
I have a number of advanced actors who study with me that have been acting for over 25 years
Wow.
and they make a living.
Mhm.
Why do they come? Because they feel they want to always go to the gym. They want to keep the things they do very well, keep them very well.
Yeah.
Any weak links, you want to strengthen the weak links.
Mhm.
And so a discipline, a love for it, of course, but a discipline and a consistency, which goes hand in hand with discipline,
Mhm.
uh, is key. And being patient enough to realize it takes time. In
Yeah.
the beginning, most young actors, or at any age starting out, you're going to work for free. You're
Mhm.
going to you're going to do the student films. You're going to want to build what we call an IMDb, which is
Yes.
kind of a base of your credits.
Mhm.
Uh, and it's that willingness to know that you're going to put out more than you're going to get back in return,
Mhm.
especially in at least probably the first year or maybe longer. Um, the it's a learned skill. It's a trusting in yourself. It's a willingness to be free, allow your feelings to be seen by everybody,
Mhm.
not worry about it. But there's more than that. It's whether it's knowing how to analyze a script. Um, are you trusting your instincts? Are you really listening? Are you really allowing yourself to be affected? And knowing what are the important things for that audition or in that scene. Some
Mhm.
things it's less.
Yeah.
You know, if you have two sentences and it's, okay, yeah, one scotch on the rocks coming up. Don't make
Mhm.
a big deal out of it. Just to be a real person and do it. But what if you have a scene about, you know, something very important? Like you asked earlier, what if you had 24 hours left in your life?
Mhm.
What would you do? And more than that, how would you feel
Yes.
if someone just told you, this is what you got?
Mhm.
This is the exact time it's going to be over.
Mhm. Wow.
You know,
Wow.
it's funny you mentioned that. You know, what was it on the news yesterday? I think it was the first time in about 4 years, um, Georgia had an execution.
Yes.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I guess by lethal injection, I guess is the way
Yes.
now. And I guess they give you your last meal. They asked
Mhm.
him what he wanted for his last meal, and I thought to myself, wow, I can't imagine what he must have been thinking or the things he was feeling. as he was sitting his last meal, knowing that exactly, I think at 6 p.m., was it,
Yes,
that
absolutely.
that he would be given a needle, and then within probably what, a couple of minutes, he would be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, wow. What if you had to do a role in a movie?
Wow.
Had to do that. How do you find the things that you need?
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes, and tell me if I'm going off too much on a tangent, and I'll
No, no,
stop.
no, 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 no. Go.
Where there are three major approaches to acting. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to really give my age away here. But years ago, I was lucky enough to study with people like Mr. Lee Strasberg,
Oh, wow.
Uta Hagen of the HB Studios, her husband Herbert Berghoff of the HB Studios. Um, and these were legendary teachers. They're all gone now, but these were
Mm-hmm.
legendary teachers. And one of the approaches, there's three major ones. One is called Meisner or Meisner technique, developed by Sandy Meisner. One was method, and who was accredited most of that was Mr. Lee Strasberg of the Actors Studio. And then there's also the disciples of Stanislavski, where we work on a lot of what's called the uses of real and or imaginary substitution.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when someone works on a character, such as maybe someone who was committed to prison for life or was waiting to see whether he was going to be sentenced to death and things like this, or doing great character analysis like a Heath Ledger in The Joker, for example,
Mm-hmm.
they go to method acting, where literally you become the character
Yes.
and you actually live the character day and night. Now you got to be careful that it doesn't that you
Yeah.
come back
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
So
You
it
get
doesn't,
trapped in. Yeah. Get trapped in it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't. But like for example, I read about where Heath Ledger felt he needed to find the insanity of the Joker, and what he did was he locked himself away from everybody. Like he locked himself in a room for like 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
just because he needed to find his insanity.
Wow.
And you go, wow.
Mm.
Or you take even a simpler approach to a character, like let's say a young Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver, where he
Mm-hmm.
played a character. I read that he spent months. That's all he did was
Yeah.
he was a taxi driver. That's what he
Mm-hmm.
actually did because he felt he had to live it to
Yes.
become. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's one approach to acting we call method acting. So, for example, if you were playing a homeless person, if
Mm-hmm.
you were doing method work, hopefully you're doing it with enough safety, of course. But go live on the street,
Mm-hmm.
sleep
Mm-hmm.
sleep at night in an alley,
Mm-hmm.
lie down on a paper bag, know what it's like not to have a shower for a week,
Mm.
know what it's like to be hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, know those things, and you will actually live it. Um,
Wow.
but not all roles require that.
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing because it's almost like you're saying that you have to become the scent,
yeah,
become
if,
the,
if
become the scent of it all.
and
And so
that's if it's that type of character that
yeah.
needs that. And again, not all roles require that, of course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. We have Mo here with us as well, and we had a couple of people that's on the phone line that want to actually and he had a question earlier in the chat. But Mo, you have the floor, brother. What's your question?
Thank you, Mr. Conti. Thank you for being here today. I think met you a few times. My cousin Cheryl Alexander was featured in Legs Diamond, which you know about the story about Legs Diamond
Mhm.
when it closed. Also, Bubbly of Dream Girls, and being at Morehouse, I worked with W. Lamar Alfred and Andre DeShields. One thing I wanted to ask, two things I wanted to ask you. Importantly, one of the productions you worked on was Love Sydney. And
Yeah.
I remember that show and how daring it was because people don't realize, like during the opening, there was a photo of Tony Randall with a man there, or he had the man there, and it was implied that that was his gay husband who had passed and he's raising a little girl. What
Yeah.
was it like being in Tony Randall's presence? Because he seemed like a great guy and so talented. My mom and I used to love him, not only in The Odd Couple, but the Mysterio, the Doctor, such and such Mysterio movie I remember as a kid. But he was a beautiful person, and I wanted to find out your impressions.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you would even know that because that's an old
It
show
is.
that I
I'm
did.
an old man.
And that was a primetime show that I did. It was one of my first guest starring roles, and it was a scene. And he was a really nice guy. I mean, he's just a real down to earth guy, nice guy. He said hello to everybody. He just, he made everyone feel comfortable on the set. Swoozie Kurtz was his co-star on the show, and she was a real sweetheart too. I was cast as this typical. When I was younger, I was more muscular, and I had these stupid lines, but it was fun. I had lines like, and they wanted me to talk with a heavy New York accent, which I can do, and I had stupid lines like, "Come on, let's get on with this, because I got to get back to the gym and oil myself." I mean, it was stupid
Wow.
but because we all got together, the scene was we all got together for a seance, but it was a joy, and of course it was a union show, and that's when you get your best pay, and then all the residual checks that I got, because every time a union show airs, the Screen Actors Guild says, hey, if you're making money running that show, the actors get paid. So when you're doing union, you continue to make residuals through the years. I got years of residuals checks from when I was on the soap opera. Another guy that I worked with on a show which was called, do you remember a show called The New Love American Style?
Love American Style.
Yeah.
I got to do an episode with David Landau. I don't think he's with us anymore, but he was Squiggy on Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we got to work together doing a guest starring episode together on the show. And he was a lot of fun to work with too, because he was just so free with everything that he did. I never knew what he was going to do. He was kind of like a mini version of a Robin Williams, where you wouldn't know what he was going to do, but it didn't matter because whatever he did was good.
Okay. Next question I wanted to ask, this is about acting, period. And we look at constraints on Black actors culturally on the stage and on the big screen. So, of course, Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis, famous and Some Like It Hot. Yeah. Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. Mm-hmm. But to Wong Fu, Thanks for All the Love, Julie Newmar. Mm-hmm. Do you understand the issue that some in our community have against seeing masculine Black men in dresses? And why is there a difference between the two, do you think? That's okay for a Robin Williams or a Jack Lemmon or Tony Curtis to do a dress and people guffaw. But when you see Wesley Snipes or Ving Rhames like in Holiday Heart, there's an issue. Like the acting. Why is that, do you think?
I don't know. I haven't given much thought on it, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I just think that, look, everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody's got something to say. And, after a while, I try, as I'm getting older now. You say you're older, but I think I'm older than you, my friend.
Yes, sir, you are. I mean, here in Georgia, they still say tomato sauce. I was raised in Jersey, so we call it what? Gravy. So it's a big difference.
You were raised in Jersey? Where in Jersey you're from?
I'm from East Orange, but I went to school at Seton Hall Prep in high school in South Orange. Wow. So the Catholic high school. So I was raised up there, and I came to Atlanta to go to school at Morehouse and studied under W. Lamar Alford and Andre DeShields with the King Players for the drama group at Morehouse.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I'm a blues musician. I think you worked with my mentor, Sammy Blue, who was a blues musician who passed a couple of years ago.
Sammy Blue, he took acting classes with me. If it's
yes, I know. That's where I first.
Oh my God!
Yes,
he passed away.
He passed away in 2021 from cancer. But I want to get your number from Raheem to talk. I have one last question.
Mo. Hold on, brother. I got other people. Let me be fair to everybody. Hold on. I'll come right back to you. Curtis, are you there? Curtis, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay. Do you have a question or a concern, or what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
No, I don't. I'm getting a lesson right now. As an actor, I'm honored to even be on a telephone with a man who has paved the way for actors such as myself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the methods and a lot of the study that he speak of, some of which I knew and some of which I didn't, but now he just gave me an explanation as to why creatively certain things I do it the way that I do it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have heard me say several times on the show, when we have the topic of acting, that, I've stood on the Stanislavski's quote for years: the foundation of acting is the reality of doing.
Mm-hmm. So
I try and exist in that space when it's time for me to create, i.e., as an actor, as a writer, director, whatever. Because for me, it appears that it brings a certain realm of reality to what you got going on. As an actor, the greatest thing that I can say that the craft has given me is the craft allowed for me to live in spaces outside of the small box of Baltimore City.
Mm-hmm.
It allowed for me, and some people say reading does the same thing, and in most cases it does. But for me as an actor, I get the option, or I get the chance, I'm given the blessing to not only read, but to live.
Mm-hmm.
And I've played some characters that, my God, I don't even know where it came from. I've played Kenyatta Shakur, I've played Malcolm X, I've played Martin Luther King, I've played Dr. Ernest Just, I've played Duke Orsino, I've played Finch in How to Succeed in Business, I've played Marty and Dreamgirls. I've played a multitude of characters that in all reality come from different spaces and many different cultures. Some cultures are parallel lines running, you know what I mean, running together with different ideologies or different approaches.
Wrap it up,
I've
Curtis.
been blessed, man, as an actor, Pearly and Pearly Victorious. So I've been blessed as an actor to not only get the chance to see the diversity of the world and see the diversity in culture, but to actually get the chance to live, breathe for 2 hours or for 8 weeks of rehearsal and then a month of a run, to live, breathe in those different diverse areas in terms of character and in terms of culture. But let me ask this, because he's a director and he's a coach, and oh my God, thank you so much. When you look at the play, The Meeting, and you see Dr. King in The Meeting, and then you look at the play, The Mountaintop, and you see Dr. King in The Mountaintop, I don't know if I'm pretty sure you're aware of both pieces, but could you speak to the cultural awareness, although it's the same person?
Wrap it up, Curtis.
The moment, I'm getting to the end of the question, the moments of the conversation or the moments of the character are completely different. Can you speak to how you would go about, or how you go about coaching an actor that might be stuck in one place, and here it is at this moment in time, he's in a different place?
I guess artistically.
I think I know what you're asking, and I'm not so sure I would keep it narrow to whether it's working on doing a character, say, of whoever, Martin Luther King or whoever it would be, but that when you look at a role from any piece of material, you ask yourself, I like to tell my actors, run your W's. And I'll tell you what, are you familiar with that when they say run your W's?
Curtis.
Slightly familiar, yes, sir.
A little bit? Okay. So for everyone else listening, is that when you look at a piece of material, whatever it is, whether it's comedy, dramatic, serial comedic, is that you ask yourself, and when I say run your W's, it's that the first letter of the first word starts with a W. So let's say, who am I? Um, so there's your W, right? You might say, what is my relationship? What are the things I'm feeling? Why do I feel them? What do I use to find those feelings? Right? Because something in a piece may not be directly to you, but you have to find how you find that value to it.
Mm-hmm.
What are the previous circumstances if it affects the scene or the piece? Okay. What's my environment if it affects the scene or the piece? Okay. So anything that would have a relevance to it, and then how do I find the truth? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the reference to Stanislavski, excellent. I've read Stanislavski. I just find the reading difficult. So I usually will tell my actors, read the disciples of him unless you like, because it is tough reading. Um, but so that's why I'm not kind of answering you on the specifics of it, because I think you have to look at a whole picture, because you never know what's going to be asked of you. You've done, I think it's wonderful that you've done these types of roles. And the stage is certainly the biggest challenge, because in TV and film, if you don't get it right, we do another take.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are no second takes when that curtain opens.
Yes.
There's no going back. There's no let me do that line again. There's no let's edit it. We'll fix it in editing. Oh no, there's none of that. Um, Now, I'll also add something to the stage, if I may, is that some teachers and some actors also believe, I believe differently, but I respect that someone feels differently, is that they'll say, well, this is acting for the stage, and then this is acting for camera, or they might say this is acting for television or film. I don't agree with that. And I will tell you this, there are technical differences, yes, but the work is the work is the work. Great
Mhm.
stage acting is
Yes.
as honest
Yes.
and as heartfelt as great film, great
Mhm.
television, no different. And that's why when a teacher says, well, we teach acting for film, as opposed to what? So I don't get that. Yes, there's technical differences, whether it's in terms of knowing how to do your blocking correctly, whether it's voice projection, if you're not in a mic stage, things like that. So I don't know if I answered your question or not. I was trying.
Mhm. Yeah, I think you did. Actually, I think you did. Let me ask you this question.
You
Hold on, hold on.
absolutely did.
Good deal, good deal. I want to go to Tucson. Tucson, if you're still there, I'm gonna come to you as well. He's actually on the phone line. But Nick, I want to ask you this question. You spoke about being in LA, being in having your start in New York. Where is Atlanta? Where is Atlanta right now in regards to acting? And what role did you play, or do you think you played? Because I say you played a huge role in Atlanta being where it is.
Um, Atlanta's off the chain.
Wow.
If you look at the statistics,
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta is either, depending on what month and depending what statistics you read, is
Mm-hmm.
either number one or number two in the world,
Wow.
not the US, the world.
Wow. Come
Okay.
on. Mm-hmm.
Um, every time I turn around, somebody else is coming here. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
Stallone announced just a couple of weeks ago shutting everything down in Los Angeles and
Mm-hmm.
opening all the studios here in Atlanta. Everything's
Wow.
moved everything. He moved his
That's
TV
huge.
show, everything.
Awesome.
Shut it down. It's all
Mm-hmm.
coming. Every week I get actors coming to audit in my studio, and they'll come in. Like last week, I had an actress and an actor come and audit in my advanced class.
Mm-hmm.
She's been acting 25 years. She just
Mm-hmm.
moved from New York. He's been acting 27 years, and he just left LA. And
Wow.
they moved here. They didn't come to visit, they moved.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think there will always be LA, and I think there will always be New York. But the market is either, again, depending on what you read and depending on a month, LA and Atlanta rival for number one position. New York is somewhat of a distant third now,
Mm-hmm.
except for the stage. New York is still number
Yeah.
one in terms of stage market.
Mm-hmm.
It distant third in television and film, but there's still a television and film market there. So the thing too with Atlanta is that I don't know that people are coming to Atlanta so much because they simply love Atlanta. It's a financial. We have the best tax incentives in the nation.
Yeah.
By far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It makes financial sense
Mm-hmm.
to open up a studio here.
Exactly.
As far as my contribution, I feel blessed that because I'm considered kind of tough.
Mm-hmm.
If I think something, if you give me gas, I'm going to tell you. I'm gonna say, if you gave me gas, man, what the hell are you doing up there?
Yes.
Let me just say it. In the same token, if someone does something terrific, if I watch someone grow in a scene, oh my, I go, look what
Mm-hmm.
you just did. You
Yeah.
brought magic. You touched my
Mm-hmm.
heart. You made me laugh. You made me angry. You made me vulnerable, whatever it is that you did.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel very blessed that I came here. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first came, I went and registered. I was still very much an active member of the Screen Actors Guild.
Mm-hmm.
I had stopped in and they said, "Oh, do you ever do?" And anyhow, they had asked me to come and just teach a little class for them like every other week. But I
Yes.
didn't want to teach. I had in LA, it had bit me. So
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, where I had one love of acting, I now felt I had a mutual love of acting and also sharing the years of my knowledge as a teacher. So when I came here, I wanted to do that too if I could. SAG gave me that opportunity, and then eventually I opened my own place, which was just in a basement. And I
Mm-hmm.
had one little class, and I had maybe 6 or 8 actors.
Okay.
Um, and and from then, eventually, we got our building.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole story in and of itself. I won't go into, but that was really something special that had happened. Where for a while I didn't think it was going to,
Mm-hmm.
and now we teach over 250 a week.
Wow. That's good.
So,
That's good.
and I got a wonderful staff of teachers that I was able to be able to handpick because to me, it's one thing. There's a lot of people teaching here that have been acting for 5 years, 7 years, and they're teaching, and maybe they're good,
Mm-hmm.
but probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Now, don't get me wrong. There's some very excellent teachers here too that do have the years, but it's one thing to talk, but it's another thing to walk the walk.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And until you've walked the walk, not in my studio. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm very particular with that. We're also, again, we're not right for everybody because if you, like say, for example, our evening classes start at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
If you pulled up at 7:40, doors are already locked. Go home.
Yeah.
You're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the deal.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
You walk in, that phone goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be texting. You don't text. You don't pick up the phone for 3 hours. Whoever you got to speak to, you let them know you're dark. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't tell me why you got to leave early. You don't leave early.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
one, you know this for those of you who worked.
Yes, exactly. Mhm.
You're on set. You're on set,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to accept that. You don't go up to the director and say, "Oh, I got a stomach ache." Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is. It's that type of discipline, and we try and do that in the studio as well. We have a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. We laugh, we tell jokes,
Mm-hmm.
we enjoy, but there's a discipline.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
So, and I just feel very blessed that Atlanta opened their arms to me. This Yankee kid, uh, and because I didn't know if they would or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I say thank you. If we have had an influence in the Atlanta market, then I'm humbled that people think that way.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and this is me from my personal standpoint and watching. I think your handprint is all over it. I think your handprint is all over it, brother. I really do, and I thank you for that because you've helped so many people get to. You are like the one that helped them grab on and hold on to their dreams and make sure that they take the necessary steps to get there. So, yeah, I'm gonna say this. I make a little joke every now and then, but if somebody come to you and say, "Well, I can't be here today because I have a stomach ache. My stomach is hurting." Look at them, and tell them I told you to say this, or act like it is not hurting and let's keep going. Act like it's not hurting. You know, if you're an actor, act like your stomach is not hurting. We got work to do.
Yeah.
We got work to do. Um, I'm looking at the clock and it's already is right at 10. Go ahead, brother. I thought you was about to say something, Nick.
Oh no.
Um, I want to be respectful of your time. I wish we could do this again. I knew the time was probably going to run out with this because there's so many different people that want, and I didn't open up the phone lines. I didn't intentionally. I did not because I knew there was going to be flooded with calls, and that would take up more time. And so hopefully next time we could do this again if you
Sure.
are willing to do it with us and actually open up the phone lines so more people could actually call in. But give us your contact information. If someone wanted to take classes, what do they need to do? And how should they prepare themselves even before they get there for the first time?
Oh, good question. Well, again, first of all, anyone who's never been to the studio can come and audit one time for free. And the easiest way to do that is, well, you could do one of two things. I'm always available. If I'm here, I pick up the phone myself. I have
Mhm,
an assistant, but I feel it's that I should give the time if someone needs to speak to me.
mhm.
So the studio phone number is it okay to give it out?
Absolutely, absolutely.
The studio phone number is 404-943-1873, or you can simply go to our website, which is pro actors, ACTORS, studio, studio.com. So there's two S's in there, proactorsstudio.com. And on that website, right at the top, they'll say order the class for free. You click on it. It'll give you all the choices between beginners, intermediates, and advanced. Again, be on time, be willing to stay till the end. It is an audit class, so sometimes people don't understand you will not be working. It's just a chance for you to come sit in,
Hmm.
observe the class, and see if it's right for you. Those that are experienced that want to come directly into intermediates and advanced, then they would schedule an audition with me. They have to come into the studio, they have to bring their best finished monologue, they have to bring their professional headshot and resume, and we do a second part to the audition as well for me to see is their work and their knowledge at an intermediate or advanced level. Anyone who doesn't want to audition, they don't have to, but then they start at the beginners and then they get invited up when they've earned it. So pretty simple with that.
Good deal.
And then we're simply ongoing by the month and we're 150 a month. I like to think that we offer good value. Um,
Yes.
about every third month, there's 5 weeks in the month. When that happens, we give the actor the extra week for free, so they get a bonus week.
Hmm.
Um, and the classes are 3 hours long, like we talked about. And we're a freestanding building. We're right in Buckhead, again at 2849 Piedmont Road in Buckhead. And we have we're a freestanding building, so when you come, you're there. And we have plenty of parking in the front, side, or rear of the building. They can also look up bio information about myself
Hmm.
and other instructors at the studio as well. Um, and I think that's really it. There's no contracts, there's no registration fees, it's none of that bull crap. It's just
Hmm.
as you see it, that's what it is right there. And if someone comes and they audit and they're just coming to audit, that's perfectly fine. No one's going to pressure them to join my studio in any way, shape, or form. They
Yeah.
don't sign anything. You don't have to sign any waivers. Just come, sit in, just respect the class, shut your
Hmm.
phones off. They can bring liquid. We do have coffee, tea, and spring water for them while they're there, but no
Hmm.
food because
Yeah.
we don't want to hear crunching, munching, papers rattling, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Toussaint, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You have a question or concern, brother? Talk to me.
Yeah. Two things. And I want you to know that I have experience in acting. I actually played Santa Claus at my son's preschool.
Lord,
So
Lord,
I do
Lord.
have that experience. I'm 60 years old now, and two things: stage fright and being overtaken by the character. Have you ever seen that happen? And how do
Stage,
you get over stage fright?
stage fright is pretty common, especially when you're in your, especially in your first year, maybe even your first couple of years as acting. And of course, when we get stage fright, and that can happen in front of the camera as well, it's not just the stage, it tends to pull us in.
Yeah.
So we become aware of ourselves, we become nervous, we're thinking about how we're speaking, we're thinking about how we look, we're thinking about if we're standing okay. And those are all enemies. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
what I can tell you is that usually time will heal it. Again, if someone is disciplined enough and doesn't give up, because in real life, most of the time we don't have stage fright in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And that same freedom, when you see great work on the screen or on the stage, it's because we believe them. We
Mm-hmm.
believe, I like to say, I'd love to feel like I'm a peeping Tom watching you live your lives. Uh, that's what makes us feel. That's what makes us cheer. There's many tricks that we can use to help us to free up. Sometimes music can make us free up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes pictures. Sometimes, like I'll tell my actors, you're trying to find a certain emotion. How about a picture? Do you ever look at a picture? It makes you
Mm-hmm.
remember or be reflective. It makes you feel things. Sometimes great joy, maybe sometimes not so much. Um, I love music. Music makes me feel things. It's funny you mentioned earlier because one of my favorite songs in the whole world. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He was an old. You said you're 60. Well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
almost 71, so I still got you beat,
Wow.
brother. Um,
Wow.
the There was an old doo-wop singer who he faded after doo-wop music went away because I was a kid when that was around. But so, and he was a guy, his name was Dion, also his real name I think was Dion DiMucci. But years later, he came back with one hit, and it's one of my favorite songs of all time. And every time I listen to it, I get filled with emotion. If you ever have a chance to listen to the song, Abraham, Martin, and John.
Oh, yes,
Mm.
yes. Hmm.
And I have used that for work. And I've had something that I had to do. And when I listen to that song, it fills me with all kinds of feelings every single time. So that when you are living in the moment and you're living in the feelings, a lot of times that stage fright just disappears
Yes.
because you're not
Mm.
thinking about it, because your heart, your mind, I like to say, use this. Now, again, if you got a small role, it's two sentences and all it is, see you tomorrow, Frank. Don't make a
Yeah.
big deal. Just be a good person, say the damn line, will you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you have an emotional full scene, I like to
Mm-hmm.
say, use this to
Mm-hmm.
find this, and all
Mm.
this will be here for you. We'll see
Wow.
it in your eyes, we'll hear it in your voice. The thing is, we got to get it from here to here. Once
Yeah.
it's here, all this is there for you. So,
Absolutely.
what are the things that you use? Everybody's different. Know the more you build the library in your brain, so when you have a particular audition, you know what toggle switches to turn on, and everybody's different. So, the better off you are from an acting standpoint, and that helps free you from the stage fright. Forgive me, what was the second question?
Tucson, what's the second part of your question, brother?
Yeah, the second question, this part of the question is, what have you ever seen someone that gets overwhelmed trying to live the life of their character?
Mm.
I have. I don't always know what the answer is for that because, again, because as human beings, we're all different. Sometimes you get, like you say, overwhelmed. Sometimes you just have to take a breather and step back for a little while. Hopefully, you have the time to do that, whether it's a day, whether it's a half a day. Sometimes you need to put it down. Like sometimes, if, excuse me, times when I've been working on a script, I say, you know what, I got to just put this down. I got to stop
Yeah. Yeah.
because I feel like I'm going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And you just need, like, I need a breather. Um, and again, it's also important as a person for you to know you don't ever want to go so far that you feel like you're jeopardizing your personal health.
Yes.
So, and we have seen that happen. Um, so, what is it that you say, okay, I'm okay here, I'm not okay there, um, but each one of us is individual. So over time, hopefully you discover what are the things you need to not feel overwhelmed anymore for whatever it is, whether it's
Mhm.
the amount of work that you've got to do or, um, you just kind of find your time.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've answered the question or
Oh,
not.
oh yeah. I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I don't
We.
want to play skin. What is it? The guy says this is my little whatever it is, Al Capone or somebody like, and I go out shooting people.
I
Okay.
Meeting on the
don't think you
open.
want to do that.
Oh, okay. You might not want to. They have a place for people that do that. You might not want to do that part.
You want to do that?
We got. We got another. Actually, we got another caller. Rico. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. I just decided to call in since y'all was still going. I thought you were gonna be off the air by now, but I got one quick question, and this might help a lot of people out there because a lot of people miss their opportunities and they miss their calling.
Mm-hmm.
But like say for instance, if you play sports, it gets to a certain age you can't do these sports. But is it ever an age, a place where you could be too old to break into acting?
Mm.
I don't think so. I mentioned a little earlier on the show that we've actually taught actors that started acting in their 70s. They
Yes.
they did what they were supposed to do. I mean, they raised their kids, and now they retired, and they go, "Well, I don't want to. What am I going to do? I don't want to sit around, just wait around. I want to do something." Um, in fact, one of the actors that I've become friends with, his name is Roy, and he didn't start acting till he was 71.
Wow.
Um, and he just took a break just now, but he studies with me, and his wife started studying acting too. He was about the same age, and he was consistent for like 3 years already, and by his second year, he got a good agent, um, and he's booked a couple of dozen plus roles
Wow.
already, and he's having the time of his life on top of
Mm-hmm.
it. And he's got enough income so that it's not a critical, right? It's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, if I don't get another acting job next month, I can't pay my
Mm-hmm.
mortgage. No. So, and he's having the time of his life.
Yeah. That's good.
So it really is at any age. Look, just recently, because over the years, the Professional Actors Studio, I still very much love my studio. I love going every week to my studio,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that for a while took over everything for me. And just very recently, I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll give it a little shot again. Maybe I'll see. And again, I'm going to be 71 soon, and I don't think twice about re-entering because I'm
Mm-hmm.
really known in Atlanta as an acting teacher,
Yeah.
not so much anymore as an actor, which is
Mm-hmm.
okay. Um, and it's perfectly fine to do that. Here's where it becomes difficult. If you don't have enough of your health,
Mm.
can be difficult because you have to be okay to be on a set. And you have to be okay to be on a set for 8, 10. I did a short with some guys last year. I was on the set for 14 hours, and I will tell you, I started to get real tired into that 14th hour.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in fairness, you really shouldn't have to be on a set for 14 hours. That's too long, but that's okay. Wanted to help them out. But but you've got to have enough health,
Yes.
and you have to be able to have enough left here to be able to learn your lines, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that. If you feel you have enough of your health, um, and financially you can handle it, because again, if you start late in life, you have to assume if here's another thing. If anybody promises you something, if it sounds too good to be true,
Yes.
it probably is.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
probably bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
I had an actress audit with me last night. I felt so bad. She's relatively new. She's mature. I don't know how old. I'm going to guess middle 50s. And she got taken. They promised her all kinds of stuff, and you get to do a showcase. We do showcases in my studio too. Every 90 to 120 days, we're doing a showcase with industry people.
Mm-hmm.
My actors have to chip in $10.
Wow.
That's what they chip in, but they only perform if their work is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because for you to show your work to a talent agent or a casting director when you're still in your baby stages does you no good, because you simply told them you're not ready. They won't see you for a year, maybe 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you wait until the work is good enough. Then you say, look what I got.
Yeah.
Take a look. Now that makes sense. They got her, they promised her bull crap, and she paid something like $3,000
Wow.
to take a class and do a showcase.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Doesn't
Scam,
smell right. Doesn't
scam,
smell good. Mm-hmm.
scams.
Yeah.
And they do it. They do it in Atlanta. They do it in LA. They do it in New York. They do it in Miami. They do it in Chicago. They do it in Detroit. Stay away from that crap.
Yeah.
Okay. They promise you something. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what's the other one I love? They go, ooh, I see something special in you. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you. There's something
Mm-hmm.
special in you. So now we need $3,500, and yes, we're gonna make something happen. No,
Mm-hmm.
you're not. No, you just became $3,500 poorer. That's all.
Yeah. That's it. Wow.
So
And unfortunately, there is that element, and that's why I have a great respect for people like yourself that's actually doing it the right way and stand with integrity and stand behind what they do. You
thank
you say that it's $10. That's not $3,000.
you.
That's not like having to take their mortgage and put it to the wayside, and it's not none of that.
And you know something else, even with and you know, because that's if you do showcase, that's if you make showcase. But even
Mm-hmm.
that, I don't do it to make money on the actors, because when the guests come, even though they have all these years we've been doing showcases, we've been doing showcases for over 25 years now here in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta.
Okay.
None of the guests have ever asked me for money, which was
Mm-hmm.
shocking to me. Never. And we've had some of the top casting directors, the top agents, directors, producers. But I always put in every card at least $100 in every card. And I always get them a very nice bottle of wine,
Yeah.
get a nice card, let all the actors sign the card. So when they come, we have a seat set
Mm-hmm.
up for them. They have a nice bottle of wine. They have a nice thank you card with at least they call it a C note down here? Up north, we call it a C note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always got the note in the card. So when
Mm-hmm.
I get all that stuff, the $10 just helps me take care of everything I got to do for the guests, and that's all it does.
Exactly.
And that's fine, because we don't do those. That's not for me to make money on. That's for me to give back to the
Mm-hmm.
actors who earned it. That's what that's about.
Good
So,
deal. Good deal. Well, brother, I'm looking at the clock, and I've held you longer, and I appreciate you hanging out with us. And I hope that there's a way that we can possibly do this again. I hope you had a great time, because I'm gonna tell you something. I had a fantastic time having you here, and I'm absolutely honored that you took the time to hang out with us, to educate us. And there's so much more. There's so much more that we could talk about. I want you to take this opportunity one more time and tell people how they could get in contact with you. I'm going to put this on the screen again, so they'll have that part of it. But the floor is yours, brother.
well, first of all, I want to thank you so much, because you reached out to me a couple of times when I couldn't do it, and I'm humbled and thankful that you wanted to include me on your show that has. And congrats to you, because you've been doing this show a long time and you have a lot of followers. Big thumbs up to you for what you do to share your knowledge
Yes,
and
thank
to
you.
put it
Thank
out there
you.
for everyone. That
Thank you.
takes a lot.
Yes, sir.
So, so again, for our studio, it's proactorsstudio.com is the website, all
Mhm.
one word with two S's, proactorsstudio.com. And all the information is right there. The address, the pricing is on the website. There's also partial bio information about myself and the other instructors. And there's a phone number too. If anyone wants to speak to me, they can always call. If I'm not in, then they just leave a message with your phone number. I always say, I tell everyone that no matter what, unless I die, I always return every call within 24 hours. That's what I always told myself. No matter what, within 24 hours, that call is returned. I feel that's a respectful thing to do.
Absolutely. And he said something earlier, and it kind of surprised me. He said earlier that he actually answers the phone when you call. He does. He does, because the first time I called, I was like, "Is this you?" Yeah, yeah, this is me. And it blew me away, because he got all these people that's working as a part of the machine, if you will, that's making this thing work. But he answers the phone. He answered and that blew me away. I was like, wow, okay, let me regroup, because I didn't expect for you to answer the phone. And again, I want to thank you for taking the opportunity to hang out with us. I'm trying to get Mr. Toussaint to call back in, because normally we pray out before we leave. But I do want to say this part here: if you missed a peaceful part of the broadcast, there will be a rebroadcast of this particular show at 3 o'clock today. And you can do so by listening to www.dkmmediagroup.com, www.dkmmediagroup.com. You can hear the show and hear it in its entirety. Now we know, that's the inside joke. We say entirety here, so I know that what the actual word is, but but that's just an inside joke. Toussaint did not call back in, so Mo, will you pray us out, brother?
Yes. Heavenly Creator, we thank you for the blessings we've had today, to hear music, to hear talent, to hear words of thought and wisdom. Father, Creator, we ask that you continue to bless us along this path and to keep us safe, both at home and abroad. In the name of your Son, Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:21, I think that says 10:31, I guess.
31.
10:31. Okay, I can't see it. I need my glasses. It's 10:31. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple, I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Then we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you Monday morning, if God says the same. Have a great day, you all.